On this episode, we discuss high rollers.
Don't worry, we hadn't heard of it either.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Flophouse. I'm Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin. I went for the opposite volume. You
Yeah.
guys started low and went high, and
You
then I started high and
de-heightened.
went low. I de-heightened, yeah. And who's joining us today? We have a special guest with us today, don't we?
It's
Introduce
me,
yourself.
Jordan Morris.
Oh, wow.
I'm doing
That's right.
both kinds of energy.
Oh,
This
but
won't
he's-
be annoying.
But he's moving away from the mic because he's a podcast professional.
Thank
That's right,
you.
Jordan Morris, podcasting legend
Hi, it's
of
me.
Jordan Jesse Go.
Yeah, he's
writer,
a podcasting
performer.
legend. He is a Jack Black impersonator. He is what else? Comic book writer.
Just, but like non-professional. Just
No. If
in
you
his
if
free
you have
time.
if you have a children's birthday party and you want a Jack Black performer to show up, but you can't afford Jack Black, Jordan Morris will be Jack Black at your children's birthday party. Yeah.
you got to
Well,
give
yes.
him a couple of days to grow that beard out a little bit crazier. Though.
Yeah, I was telling the guys before we started recording, I'm keeping my beard a little tidier in the new year, 2026, the year of the tidy beard for me.
Yeah, last year for you was year of the castaway beard.
Yeah, right. And then Wilson broke up with me. I had a tragic
man.
breakup with Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
I read about it in the
boy,
trades.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw his DMs, and he was.
So you're saying Wilson's free?
Yeah, but don't try and tie Wilson down. Believe me.
Yeah.
Listen, if you just want a quick roll in the sand with Wilson, but try and get that volleyball to commit. Huh?
Yeah, he's got the body for rolling in the
He loves to roll. No, but I'm keeping the beard tidier for many reasons, but one of them is because when it was bigger and bushier, like kids were stopping me on the street to ask me if I was Jack Black.
I think this is a great chance for us all to go around and say what celebrities people say we have looked like. Elliot, you go next. Has anyone stopped you on the street to say you look like Jack Black?
No, not like Jack Black. Usually if there's some kind of nerdy celebrity, people don't think I'm that person, but they say I look like someone nerdy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't gotten any celebrity comparisons in recent years. Well, that's not true. Since I got the beard, there's a lot of Riker. But when I was...
That's pretty
That's
cool.
a good one.
But nobody
Riker.
thinks you're actually Riker.
No,
Jonathan
no one
Frakes.
thinks I'm actually right. Well,
A much
I do
older
think that-
man.
No, it's like what we've gotten. It's not like that's Stuart. We don't all have to be mistaken for these things, right? Clarify the question, please.
Yeah. I
Counselor.
mean, not mistaken for.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean-
I was just saying. I would just want to ascertain that unlike Jordan Morris, when people go up and say, "Are you Jack Black?" No one went up to you and said, "Are you
No one's
Jonathan
like-
Frakes, the actor who played Riker?"
Yeah.
Dan, can you help me? I have two stories, and I need to know which ones are fact and which ones are fiction.
When at one point, I occasionally would get another member of the Next Generation crew. I would get Brent Spiner. When I was younger, I would
Brett?
get John Cusack.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, that's
These
good,
are all
yeah.
great ones.
Yeah.
And obviously I get plenty, but the two that I feel like were least accurate but still very complimentary
Flattering, yeah.
were Michael Fassbender. And I had just seen Shame, so I was like, hell yeah. And I'm like, man, he's dragging one. An Australian person said I look like Heath Ledger, and I'm like, that's factually incorrect, but I appreciate the...
Man, yeah.
Yeah, let me check the encyclopedia of people who look like other people. It's not in here.
No.
yeah.
I appreciate it. Hey,
Yeah, if you put me through a database, like they
Yeah.
might use in the movie we watched today.
Yeah.
like a criminal database.
yeah.
Speaking of that movie, what we do on here on this podcast, the Flophouse, is not talk about beards or celebrity lookalikes.
We
It
just
is-
did,
we
Dan.
talk about
We just did.
Yeah.
So are you
I guess-
gaslighting me?
Yeah, I gotta check the encyclopedia.
Yeah, let me see- let me
Factually
see-
incorrect things said on podcasts.
let me
and
see-
That's in there
Let
now.
me see the video footage because you're telling me that we're not talking about it, but we're talking about it. Yeah.
That's true. Okay. Well, it's not the prime directive of our
Yes.
podcast.
Oh, well, very Jonathan Frakes
Shit.
of you. Maybe it
Wait
is
a minute,
right
now
here.
I see it. I see it now.
Yeah.
Of course, the Prime Directive is we talk about movies that have gotten
We don't
critical
interfere
or,
with movies that have not yet discovered space travel. Yeah.
Yes, we don't do that.
And
But
movie shall never kill movie.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
We discuss movies that are critical or commercial flops and talk about what we thought about them. And on this episode, we saw a movie that I don't think was in theaters.
That's the thing. No,
I would be surprised.
According to Wikipedia, it grossed $72,805 in the United Arab Emirates.
Oh,
So it was in
okay.
theaters in at least one country,
Yeah.
unless those are video rentals in the UAE.
Yeah.
But when you say like movie that a critical commercial flop, like a movie like this is, you kind of ask yourself, is this a real movie, or is this like, did a guy spend a lot of money to get some famous people together to make like a bar mitzvah video?
I feel like calling it a flop doesn't take into account all the effort that went into just giving birth to it in the first
Yeah.
place.
Sure.
Like, is this something I could see this being something that they showed at the like company Christmas party for the hotel it was filmed at. Like everybody has a little cameo, and you like clap when Dan from
Someone-
HR pops up.
Yeah,
in the background, someone's just staring at John Travolta.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Considering this is one thing we should say about that. This is a movie directed by Ives, which is Randall Ives Emmett, the actual real life basis of the character Turtle on Entourage. So that is the pedigree that this movie has. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, so when I say critical or commercial flop, in this case, I put this movie on the docket in part because it did show up on a lot of like worst of last year lists.
And it's got big stars in it.
Well, that's the thing. This would
Huge.
This would definitely qualify for I think a small timber movie, if not for the fact that it has some recognizable names in it. John Travolta, of course, foremost among them, but also Gina Gershon, Lucas Haas,
Quavo of the Migos.
Did we get out of them? Did we run
Or
out
Quavo.
of?
There's also Quavo from the Migos. Is it Quavo? Quavo? But one of the members of the Migos, huge group,
Yeah.
huge hip hop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's who that is. I was like,
Yeah.
who's this one named fellow?
And then a
explains
number
it.
of other actors and actresses who are not as recognizable.
And this is kind of in that geezer teaser genre of film where
What's a geezer teaser?
It's like these movies are mostly used for tickling the testicles of old men.
well, and the taint.
Yeah, that's when you tell your grandpa you're going to Sizzler, but then you never go to Sizzler. We might go soon.
They put it on after Crank Yankers. Now we got geezer teasers.
Just
Once
puppets.
you yank your crank, you gotta tease your geezer. Coming up soon on Comedy Central in 1998.
It's Crank Acres, then Geezer Teasers, then The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Next.
Then another Crank Yankers.
Yeah. We got to
then
get your numbers up. Geezer Teasers is blasting
This
you
is
out of
what
the
do
water,
it.
guys. And you have
Yeah.
this amazing lead-in from Geezer Teasers.
Then
No.
what would Comedy Central show after that? Like Stewardess School or Ninja Academy or something like that? You know?
Maybe in its like early
You
years.
guys are threatening me with a good time.
Right,
It like-
PCU, right?
PCU or like
PCU,
or reruns of Whose Line Is It Anyway for like 4 straight hours. Yeah.
Sounds like a good time. So no, this
We
a
didn't
geezer
know we
teaser.
didn't know how good we had it.
We had no idea
Yeah.
that was wonderful. Yeah, exactly.
This has been
Hey,
coined to.
sometimes
Oh,
you don't know
boy.
what you got till it's gone. They paved Comedy Central and put up just nonstop Office reruns.
Yeah. They don't generate. I mean, it's just South Park and Daily
And
Show,
the Daily
right?
Show
Or the new
and Office
things.
reruns. Yeah. The new things.
Well, I mean, they're producing
They're
new
both
episodes.
like 20 years old. Yeah,
They're
that's
producing
true.
new episodes. It's not this the thing that's not a reboot.
I mean, we've entered a world where my parents now ask me if I've watched South Park because they watch South Park all the time.
Yeah,
which
because
is
it's an American
wild.
institution now. And,
Yeah.
and meanwhile, Comedy Central's not making new episodes of Small Doses, not making new episodes of Limbo Land, not making new episodes of Ted Goes to the Orient.
no vacant lot.
No episodes of
no
Vacant Lot. Exactly, yeah.
Exit
Route 57.
57.
Or Exit 57. That's right. I was going to say Route 57, which is actually the road you take to get
What
to the
happened to
Heinz
the Higgins
factory.
Boys and
Yeah.
Gruber? Well, man, I haven't seen one of those in a
I
long
do hear
time.
they're working on a soft reboot of Crowed Mandoon.
That's like the only name I recognize.
That was when I worked for a Comedy Central show at midnight, and that was always when we needed to take a shot at the network, just a playful rib at our corporate moms and pops.
Just nipping the hand that feeds you.
Yes,
a
we
little
would
bit,
say we would always make a reference to Crowed Man Dude.
yeah. And the flaming sword of fire. Yeah.
No, sure. Anyway,
To answer a question posed long ago, a geezer teaser is
Oh.
a phrase that has been coined to describe these movies, like often, funded with a lot of like overseas money and shot overseas on the cheap, where you get an aging star, and that is what.
Who's the aging
helps
star
you
in this one?
In this
Lucas
case, John
Haas.
Travolta.
Oh.
But like,
I mean,
before, sadly, dementia like prevented him from making more movies. Like a lot of those Bruce Willis late period movies, that was the genre.
Because it was, I think Bruce Willis helped to. I mean, it's the kind of thing that, to be honest, international movies have been doing for decades, where they take someone who is a big name who is maybe no longer headlining big American movies, and they say, we'll pay you a certain amount of money to be in it. And Bruce Willis was the modern pioneer of it, where he literally had a rate where he's like, if you pay me this amount of money, I will do 3 days of shooting for your movie. It doesn't matter what the movie is. It could be a snuff film. It could be, he didn't say that. But, and John Travolta is certainly in that place in his career.
Yeah. Well, that being said, guys, let's meet our geezer, John Travolta.
I love that this is now a branded segment. I love it.
yeah.
Looking
come
more
on
and more.
down, but not too fast, okay?
Now, I want to make
You
it
have a
very
bad
clear,
hip.
the geezer label does not apply to Gina Gershon, one of my favorites.
Of course not.
Who is
No,
great
no.
in this.
Yep.
Great in everything. I love her. Yeah.
And I'm he's certainly thrown away his goodwill, but I'm still fond of John Travolta. I don't want to like make undo fun of him, but I will say, after claiming that I won't make fun of him, that he's looking in this more and more like a Woolly Willy, where you've put all the, the iron shavings on the beard area, and he's I feel like his like neck
There's a
vertebrae have
stiffness
been
to his
fused
movement.
or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
It's,
he at this point, John Travolta is 70.
an old
He's gonna
man.
be 72 years old. Just a couple weeks after we record this, and I think the dark beard is intended to make him seem younger than he is, but instead. There's a certain amount of without it, like non-CGI Robert De Niro in The Irishman about it, where it's like he moves like an older man, even though he's trying to look like a younger man.
I mean, let's give him this. I would kill to look that good at 72. I mean, like
he looks better than you do now, Dan.
oh, well, I don't know about. I mean, the whole Riker thing. People have been saying
I mean, his beard does look pretty good.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, Dan, you do look like Riker.
my beard at least looks less like iron shavings. than
you,
it's been
you look
glued
like
to me.
you look like Riker when Riker meant something.
Thanks.
You're right. I apologize. He doesn't look better than you do. I mean, it's an even 50-50 split.
Thank you. So, speaking of Travolta, he and Gina Gershon are at a fake-looking beach.
Do we have to mention that this is a sequel?
Yeah, let's.
I think we should. So something we
haven't
didn't
even
know
started,
going into
but-
the movie.
Yeah, so
is that
it's-
this-
Well, you got
So-
started in the plot of the movie. I figure we should mention that the movie
Yeah,
is a
they-
sequel.
Well, I
There's
did
not-
have a
there's
break
not a-
in here where
there's
I
not
go
a
back a
number.
flashback, but yeah.
There's not a number, there's not a subtitle, and it takes a couple minutes into the movie to realize that this is a sequel to Tar.
Not till they're watching a news story about Tar on the
Yeah.
beginning of this.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is the Tarverse.
Somebody's playing, what is that, Monster Hunter or something?
Monster Hunter,
What's-
yeah, she's conducting a Monster Hunter concert.
Oh,
and
this
then-
does take place in the TCU. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sure,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
And then someone
okay,
says, cancel culture's really gotten out of control.
But I will
and
say,
that's how you know.
all joking aside, the experience of watching this movie, not knowing that it is a sequel to a movie I've never heard of, called Cash Out, was real. It did make me think I was being gaslit by the movie, because the characters are presented as if you already know who they are. They're referring to events that you didn't see happen.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going. And like, I was like, wow, this is pretty kind of avant-garde for this low-budget movie that they're doing. It reminds me of I once had to read for I worked at a company that was looking at different intellectual properties to see if they were interested in adapting them at this small film production company. And they had me read one of the Dortmunder novels, and it was like the 12th in the series, and I'd never read any of them before. And I was like, oh, wow, these characters have really rich backstories. Like, they're always referring to, like, adventures they had before. And this is like reading a Marvel comic 30 years in. But that's what the opening of this movie is like. They expect the audience to be very aware of what happened in Cash Out, just fleeting references. They're like, you'll pick it up. You'll pick it up. You know this already. Cash Out is huge. Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, you can watch this comfortably without knowing. I mean, like the very beginning, I think is confusing, and then there's some stuff at the end where I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is again like flashing, but like you don't have to know that much. But I'm gonna give you a quick summary based on Wikipedia.
Ooh, okay.
So in the first one, Travolta, who plays Mason Goddard, was a criminal mastermind. He was supposedly, like at the beginning, you think he's unknowingly in this relationship with an undercover FBI agent, which is Gershon's role, but she was played by Kristen Davis in the first movie. So this is actually
They recast her?
yeah,
Yes, they recast.
Gershon.
And what that teaches you is that Gina Gershon has a lower quote than Kristen Davis. That's what we can infer from that. Or maybe
sad
Kristen
state of the
Davis
world.
was just double booked. I don't know. And
You used to have a
that
proper
character's name is
country.
Amelia Decker. And I think it's very funny that Mason, who is in love with this character, calls her Decker throughout the film. For most of the time, he refers to her by her last name, which is really funny. It's something that you see in other movies sometimes where like the wife calls the husband by his last name, and you're like, I know everybody else does. Seems
Yeah.
weird for you to do that, you know.
But there's apparently some like movie opening action incident, which, you know, where he finds out that she's FBI and he retires from criminality. But his brother Sean, Lucas Haas, convinces him to do a heist of some crypto. But that hard drive also has blackmail information for some U.S. officials, which leads to a hostage situation where his
When
ex
Lucas
is the
Haas
main
is involved, it's
negotiator.
always a hostage situation.
So the like one of the several MacGuffins in this movie is something they call the dirt box. Is this the origin of the dirt box, Dan? Is it?
Yes.
It's a box
I mean-
with all this blackmail stuff on it.
I only got that at the end of the movie when they were like, "This is the dirt box," and I'm
Right.
like, "What the fuck? Why aren't you explaining to me what this is?" And then I'm like, "Oh, dirt, the blackmail dirt. I
Yeah.
get it."
Oh.
It sounds like
So-
it sounds like the name of like a real party animal you went to college with.
Oh, it's
It's
dirt box.
it's
It's like
like-
a good time tonight.
What's
like
he
a-
up to?
it's like a-
he's,
like a-
he's not doing so good.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, dirt box died in a balcony collapse.
Oh, one of the better ways for Dirt Box to go.
Okay, guys, let's do a little moment of silence for Dirt Box.
R.I.P.
It does
Dirt
feel like
Box.
it's
It
a
wasn't the fall. It was that he fell into a bed of opossums.
they're dangerous,
Yeah.
savage creatures. It does sound like
Dirt Box could be Stewart's alter ego if you wanted to have a Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
I think if we self-produced a like fifth tier Revenge of the Nerds rip-off movie in another country, then there'd be
Okay.
a character named Dirtbox who's like the booger of that movie. You know,
Oh man, that's my dream role,
I
guys.
mean,
Here
you're
comes
kind
Dirt
of
Box.
selling me on this
Where's
project.
the pussy?
It's like they're doing exactly they're doing
Oh,
Revenge
man,
of the
what a
Nerds
legend.
knockoff in Argentina for no money. Stuart, will you play Dirtbox?
Play Dirt Box or become Dirt Box?
Yeah, you're gonna do a Jared Leto method and
Stuart's going
Act
to
like
embed
dirt
himself with a bunch of like college-age dirt bags. So, no, I'm one of you guys.
What's up, dudes? 6'7".
yeah, Dirt Box.
Anyway, the movie has a hostage situation where like his
Yeah,
like
Lucas Haas
ex-
is in it.
Lucas Haas.
His ex is the main negotiator, and at the end of all of that, Mason fakes his death, and there's the surprise twist at the end that Amelia was on Travolta's side the whole time. The beginning was just a setup to make the FBI think she was loyal to them, but she was being his mole in the department.
Mole.
So,
Mole. It's a beautiful sauce.
yeah, a lot of
Rich, very rich.
Very
chocolate
rich,
and
thick.
cinnamon.
Very rich.
So that's the first movie, Cash Out. Because throughout this one, Lucas Haas keeps going.
And we're done, guys.
Yeah,
Explain
look
the
at
movie.
Lucas Haas keeps going. Remember the crypto drive in Seattle, the one I was talking about? And it's
Yeah.
like they needed a little asterisk that said "Back in Cash Out, Smile and Stan."
Yeah.
you know, just to tell you it's a reference.
And you mentioned Smile and Stand, so I do want to point out that this movie is the movie we're talking about, High Rollers, is written by kind of Flophouse royalty. The writer was the writer and director of a movie called I Know Who Killed Me. The first appearance of Elliot Kalin, right? Or one
Yeah.
Oh,
On this
yeah.
podcast, I wasn't in that movie.
Check
but,
out
yeah.
episode 8, Ed.
Daffy Dan. Smile and Stewart.
So,
There was some other Flophouse
Yeah, John
connection.
Travolta.
No, that I think
The fan.
I think Ives also produced another movie that we did on the show. I'm gonna take another look real quick.
That tracks.
That.
I once met a bunch of people on the road to St. Ives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot
wow.
of cats
Is it-
and
According
wives.
to
Lot of
Wikipedia-
wives, these guys.
Yeah,
According
a
to
lot of wives.
Alex Cross, he produced, which we did. According to
Yep.
he also was a producer on Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans. That's a great movie.
That's a great movie.
Righteous Kill, which I think we also did.
Mhm.
Yep.
He was a producer on The Wicker Man. He was a producer on.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's done plenty of Flophouse covered stuff. you know.
Great.
He does movies, but only as someone from Face Off is involved.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Face Off, so Travolta and Gershon are at this
Speaking
beach.
of face off, Dan, please stop taking your face off.
It gets hot in here. They're at this beach, the 37th since retirement. They are, celebrating being successful criminals. And they're, Lucas Haas is there. Anton is there.
Whole family.
They're
whole
all there.
family.
Well, is it someone's wedding, right?
Yeah,
It's-
Anton. Well, I'm getting there. Anton
okay.
is
I'm
officiating
sorry.
a beach wedding of people that I write down here. I assume we met in the first movie.
Well,
It's
there is-
Link and what is it, like Cam or something? He was like a Carrie.
Karis.
Karis.
So Link, who is their tech,
Which is a reference
specialist.
to what, Leo Carax, the director?
Probably.
No, yeah, I think so. I think
The
that's
holy rollers for high
And
rollers.
Link is a reference to Zelda, of course.
Right,
Uh-huh.
So and
I think there's a couple points in this movie where you can really tell that it was put together by the very old, and I think Link is one of them because it seems to me the logic of that is like, oh, she's the hacker, so she follows internet links. Like it's like calling her microchip or something. Anyway, there's a couple moments like that where I'm like, oh, this was thrown together by 70-year-olds trying to
Yeah.
make something that seemed current.
and Karis, is he in Cash Out? Because the way they're talking about
Yeah.
him, so he used to work for.
He worked at the bank where the thing was held that they were
okay.
heisting, I guess.
And
he's-
obviously fell in love with the hacker involved in the heist.
Right.
and
It
he's
happens.
he's played by the actor Swen Temmel. His first name is Swen.
Swen,
and
cool.
He looks
according
like a
to
Swen.
according to Wikipedia, he was in the movie In Time, another Flophouse
Okay.
cover.
Yeah.
movie.
Yes, connections.
We're running out of
We
movies,
love
guys.
'em.
We've covered them all. Yeah.
Anyway,
And
this wedding.
and he, I like this guy whose backstory is like, I worked at a bank, and that's like what he contributes to the heist crew. At some point, to like show his bona fides, he just goes, "Hey, I know finance."
Yeah, there are a couple members of this crew where I'm not quite sure what they like. Anton,
Yeah.
who's played by Quavo, I'm not really sure what he
No.
does as part
He
of the
doesn't
crew.
have a specialty the
No,
way
he
that
just-
Link does.
He's like fun to have around.
Yeah, I think Link could just take care of this whole heist. There's
Pretty much.
yeah.
Link does most of the work on
Link
the heist.
does most
yeah.
of the work, but then
breakout character.
yeah, but then you need a guy to explain what a Roth IRA is, and that's where our
To
finance
me,
guy comes.
because
in.
I don't know.
Oh boy, tell me, man.
they're
They
like,
say,
when
they
we-
say you
once-
need one.
Once this heist is over, I don't think I'm going to diversify. Hold on. Let me explain to you why you should.
You have too much money in your checking account. It's not doing anything there.
I want to
much
make the
money
money
in this-
work for you.
I
You're
know.
not-
I know finance.
It's just we had no finance.
You can't keep all the money in the dirt box. You gotta spread it around.
What? I have a box full of dirt. I put my money in there.
Buried.
Bury it so that people can't find it.
There you go.
That's why people launder money, is because it was in the dirt box. And it's
Yeah,
covered
so
in
just
dirt.
got so much
Yeah.
dirt on it.
Okay, literally haven't made it out of the first scene of this film.
Look at how dirty this $1 bill is. Looks like George Washington just stuck his face in a chocolate cake. What are you doing? Why are you keeping $1 bills in the dirt box? Just put them in your pocket.
Put them in the pocket.
So this wedding is
My dirt pocket? Why is your pocket full of dirt?
This wedding.
In case someone reaches their hand in, I don't want them to be able to find the money inside.
It's
So I
actually
fill my
a good
pocket with
idea,
dirt.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Stay out of there.
Pickpocketing is a problem.
This
They made a whole movie about it. It's called Pickpocket. Yeah.
Sounds good.
this wedding is interrupted not by an objection, but a yacht blowing up.
Some would say that's the biggest objection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
if anyone does
Yeah,
not approve
Rochester's
of this,
wife was on the yacht.
if anyone does not approve of this union, please blow up a yacht.
oh, so many yachts. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. These killer whales really don't want you to get married.
So a bunch of gunmen working for Salazar, who's the crime lord they ripped off in the first movie.
Salazar is such a classic crime
Classic
lord name.
name.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It is a casually racist crime lord name.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a casually racist crime lord name, but then we get like a serious, shitty comic book bad guy name as the other bad guy in this movie, and I
Yes.
don't want to spoil it.
No, that is a wonderful, terrible bad guy name. Yeah.
So these some armed people show up with vans and helicopters. They kidnap Amelia, Gina Gershon. There's a car
That
chase.
was when I was like, this better not be the end of Gina Gershon in the movie. I will not
Yeah.
accept that.
And
Luckily,
it's the big,
not.
exciting opening. Like, isn't that what Netflix tells all their filmmakers, that they got to have a big, exciting action sequence right up top,
You got
and
to
they
catch.
deliver.
You got to catch the audience's attention within
They
like
sure
the first 30 to 45 seconds or something. Netflix is always worried that the audience has no tolerance for anything, and it is just watching with their faint thumb hovering over the off button, just waiting for a moment to check out.
Yeah. I'll hit play, and then you hit skip as soon as possible.
And but this car chase, could you guys follow what was going on? I had real trouble understanding what was happening.
All the action scenes in this movie are incoherent.
Before we get to the car
chase,
chase, what happened?
especially.
What do you mean,
Like,
what
so
happened?
they take Gina Gershon,
Take her.
right? But then all of a sudden, he's just driving a car.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And they don't show
We
him
have-
getting in, and I didn't know what car he was in for most of
Yes.
these things. I'm like, I assume it's this muscle car that it's like it's kind of like a Dom Toretto muscle car. But
as
they never
opposed to a sub Toretto.
Is that and if they've been to all these beaches, is this like a rental?
I thought he was in that like van, that like black van, but maybe that's the
he
one
might
she
have
was
been.
in.
Honestly, that might have been the car he was in. I
And
don't
also,
know.
it's like the guys arrived in helicopters. Did they leave the helicopters behind and get into vans? like just stuff her in a helicopter
Well, we
and take
don't-
off. He can't follow you in that.
You don't even see the guys who are holding them at gunpoint leave. Just
Yes.
all of a sudden, he's chasing them.
It's
Yeah.
it's like Memento. He suddenly blacked out between like, oh, I'm in a car.
Yeah, like, if
am I
he was
chasing
in-
them? Oh,
if
they're
it-
chasing me. Yeah.
If there was a time jump and he was driving a car and his clothes were covered in blood, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But Travolta's
Or if there's a time jump and
He
suddenly
unleashed
he's an
the
old
beast, I
man in the
guess.
year 2242, and he's like, "Oh, why did the robots outlaw rock and roll?"
Yeah. Why didn't that happen, Dan?
because it's too powerful, Stuart. You can't stop the Rock.
cannot
No.
stop.
Styx has
So-
already run that war game, and it turns out rock and roll will find a way.
Travolta's shot at from a helicopter. He crashes the car. His 70-year-old bones do not shatter. He goes back to find that their resources have
Dan,
been
I hate
wiped
to
out.
break it to you. This was all faked. This didn't actually happen.
Okay. Travolta intuits pretty quickly that this is because someone wants them to do a job, and he goes around sort of just explaining to the audience who everyone is. He's like, but we can do it. Link with your computer skills, and you and the other guy.
I
And
actually
hey-
think this movie would have been funnier if he had shattered all his bones and he had to do this whole heist from like a wheelchair, like in like a big body cast.
Yeah, that'd
But
be
that
great.
does kind of seem like how these people are in these movies in a weird way. Like there are just shots in this movie where it's clear John Travolta is not in the room with anybody else. Like
Yeah.
they just had 5 days with him. He like ran around a warehouse for a little bit. But yeah, I would think that at some point in one of these movies they have to be, and someone's in a hospital bed because it like
And
would make
speaking
sense.
of how little time they have with the stars, I have written down here, Travolta's giving a performance like someone who was handed the script 2 minutes ago. Like everything he says.
Very possible. He's still. I'll say this for him. He's still charismatic.
He's
Totally.
charming, yeah.
Yeah.
He's still
Charismatic.
charming.
It's
He's
just
got
like
charisma.
the
I don't
fact
buy
that
him.
it's-
I don't buy him as an intense professional criminal who is then taking on the role of another person to pull off a heist. But still,
I believe that he's like a silly rich guy, just like wandering into
Yeah.
the scene, which is the character he's supposed to be playing. Right?
I guess so, and which is what he is, I guess, in real
But,
life.
but the fact that like
Silly rich guy.
he doesn't seem to have he wasn't given time to prepare, and the lines are so stilted. Like the movie feels like the cast is trying to improvise an action movie. Often
Yes.
the way they say things,
It
just
does feel like they're
everyone
making
seems
it up
weird.
as they go along. If it reached the level of improvisational mischief and delight of a movie like Celine and Julie Go Boating, I would say that it is tapping into the childlike nature of play, in that they are making it as they go along. But that's not really the case. What it really does feel like is like they're coming up with problems in the script, and they're like, let me say something that kind of gets around that. You know?
There's a moment like that that I made note of. This is in the later in the Gina Gershon story. She's like trying to escape her kidnapper, and she like tries to like put one over on him, and then ends up having to like beat people up. And she says, "Can't help a girl for trying." And I think what she was going for was you can't blame a girl for trying, but she says can't help a girl for trying, and they just left it in the movie. That would make sense. It's like, okay, there's nothing in the script. You just have to say something. Say a cliche. Say we've got company, and then they can't really remember it. Very fucking weird.
And she says it, and they're like, "Well, I don't want to say Gina Gershon is wrong."
Yeah, she's so
it's like her family said that.
I would bet you that she said it, and then she was like, "Wait, that didn't come out right." And they said, "Moving on.
We gotta go.
We gotta
It was great,
We got another
Gina.
setup.
Yeah.
We're
It's fine.
coming up on
That's fine.
We're getting into golden time. That's a wrap for Gina Gershon, everybody." She's like, "Wait, can I just do it one more time?" No, it's good. It's good.
I'll record our voice memo. I'll send it to you. Nope. We're
Can't
coming
help
up
a girl
on
for trying.
one of my favorite inexplicable things. So just
Can't try a GURP for lopping. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Just keep it. Yeah.
let me power through to this first very inexplicable thing
Sure.
in this movie. It's confirmed that they're wanted for this this job. They get a call. They go to their hotel to check out, I guess, and the FBI agents are there. They give chase, and they all escape by jumping fully clothed into a pool to reach the other side. I'm like, there's no way that that's the only way you can get to the other side of this fucking
But also
pool.
the idea that is the other side of the pool outside the FBI's jurisdiction. How are they? It is so unclear how this helps them to escape a team of FBI agents. It's
And they
bonkers.
give the impression that this jump into the pool is dangerous, but the way it's shot is very close up. So you have no idea how far they're jumping.
No,
They don't
they
show
are-
them in relation to the pool. I'm sure in actuality they just jumped off the diving board that was at the hotel.
Or the
Yeah,
side, it looks like they
they're
jump
on
off
the
the
same
side
level.
of the pool. Yeah, it looks
That's
like
why
they,
it doesn't make any sense.
it
It
looks
like, wait, you have to go through the pool to get to the other side of the pool? Let me introduce you to an idea called walking around.
they are
It's
trying.
like little kid logic where you're like, no, the rules are. Otherwise, you step on lava and you die.
They're trying to replicate Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid jumping off a cliff into a river to get away from guys, but it's just the side of a pool into a pool, and then, like I didn't understand. I was so baffled by this. I was like, how did this help them escape? I don't understand. Like
And then-
the FBI is like, hey, they're all wet. I don't want to touch them.
But also in the very next shot where they're running to the
They're
car,
completely dry.
bone dry.
well, that's because they ran
really
through.
fast.
They
Yeah.
ran through the last stage of a car wash, and those huge blower fans
Right,
just dried
yeah,
them
yeah,
off.
yeah.
That this was real little kid logic. Like, yeah, but we jumped in a pool, so we're safe, right?
We're
Yeah.
like 10 minutes in the movie, and I was like, hell yeah, we're cooking here, guys.
So by this point in the movie, I was like, this movie expects me to know who all these characters are already. I saw a car chase I did not understand. I don't know how they got away from the FBI this way. Like the movie is making it very easy on the heroes and very hard on the viewer.
Yeah. So they all take a plane somewhere and get a.
I do like watching them all like clown car out of the littlest private jet.
And they're getting a briefing about this job that they're being blackmailed into in a plane hangar. And what it is, they're supposed to rob.
They're being
And here's
briefed by
the name
Mr.
that
Mr.
Stuart. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
This is the name that Stuart. I don't want to. Stuart teased before. Zaid Black. They got to rob
Zaid Black.
Zaid Black.
Zaid
a
Black.
shrimping magnate.
This is okay.
Who owns
Wait,
the casino too.
and they're also
A
being
plus
told
like
this.
evil wrestler name.
They're being told this by Mr. Flowers, who works for Salazar.
Okay.
And Mr. Flowers is like, you gotta rob Zaid Black. And it's so funny. He's like, yeah, he made his money in shrimping. He owned a shrimp factory, and then he bought a casino. And you will find out later in the movie, the casino and the shrimp factory are right next to each other
attached.
and are
Connected by,
connected
like, a
by
tunnel?
ventilation ducts. So
Love
it's
it.
like, how bad does this casino smell that it's right next to a shrimp
Yeah,
factory?
famously good smelling places, casinos.
And there's a
I mean, but it's got to smell better than a place where seafood is processed.
I feel like
right?
I feel like the like pall of cigarette smoke would cover the shrimp.
yeah,
smell,
that's
but
true. A
maybe I'm wrong.
casino is the one thing that smells worse than a shrimp
then
factory.
then turn it around. Do you want your factory where you are processing food to be full of the smells of people smoking cigarettes inside a casino?
And,
no, of course
and
not.
crying.
Yeah, and
So,
yeah, the
There's
cars-
a, there's
well,
a
the-
pretty there's a pretty cool scene where like Flowers is explaining the shrimp magnate, and he's like, "This guy made his money in shrimp. Barbecue shrimp, shrimp salad, shrimp sandwich, shrimp
Jumbo
etouffee.
He goes on for
They're
so
trying
long.
to get this movie over 85 minutes.
Well, that was the reason why they then put out the very successful Flowers Gump Shrimp restaurant
guys-
franchise.
At every
Do you guys
mall,
ever- related.
you
do you
can
guys
still
ever
go
think
to a
it's-
Flowers Gump Shrimp.
Do you guys ever think it's weird that there's an actual restaurant, the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company?
That's
think
weird
it's
all
pretty
the
weird.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
I find it
restaurant
so
based
weird.
on one movie.
And a movie
They do
that came out-
trivia for that one movie.
A movie that came out 32 years
Yeah.
ago. Those
Yeah.
restaurants are still growing strong, and it's not like that's the main thing you walk out of Forrest Gump thinking about is shrimp. The movie's not about shrimp. Like it's
I mean, my wife might. She really likes shrimp.
okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Has
So-
anyone ever watched Forrest Gump on their phone while in that restaurant?
Probably, yeah. They call it Gump gooning. I wouldn't advise it. Yeah.
Is it like when you go to a Margaritaville, they're playing live performances by Jimmy Buffett? Are they constantly playing
Clips from
Forrest
Forrest
Gump
Gump?
inside?
Yeah, they're playing like Fortunate Son. You're in Vietnam now.
I've been to a Bubba Gump embarrassingly recently, and I can say, it is.
Yeah,
It is clips.
how are the Doughboys?
Shamefully, I just went to eat, not to talk about it on a podcast.
What's
I
the
just went
point?
because I needed food and have
weird.
a really good time.
So wait, hold on. In this briefing, I want to call out a
Wait,
part that
one last thing I want to say about Bubblegum Shrimp, which is they are missing something. If the servers, when the servers give you the specials, they need to deliver it the way Bubba does when he talks about shrimp. They should say
Oh,
it that
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So they're really missing out. Anyway, they're leaving money on the table. Dan, what were you going to say?
Well, in this briefing scene, Link proves her bona fides by being able to unblur the camera footage better than like the guy giving the briefing. And then Travolta says, "Can you use this tech to make us new identities?" And she says, "Fuck yeah!" And I'm like,
This
what?
tech,
The
this
fucking
guy's
security
laptop?
This
camera?
tech, like this tech, like a computer? Yes,
Yeah,
certainly.
I can't do that.
This movie is written and made entirely by people whose grandkids have to help them unlock their computers. Like it just reeks of that.
But later on, they have the
She turned
technology.
the motion smoothing off.
They have the oh, you're looking at it in the wrong aspect
Yeah.
ratio. Oh,
And then John
that's
Travolta
why.
says to Link, "Can you help me watch Landman?" How do I watch Landman?
Is this where I get it?
This is hitting too close to home. Literally this weekend, I have to call my mother-in-law so that I can walk her through inputting our passwords for streaming services
Yeah.
so that she can have them again.
What
And
time does Yellowstone start?
No, it's streaming, Dad. You don't have
You
to
don't
wait
have
for
to.
it.
You can just-
watch it whenever you want. 8 o'clock. Is it on at 8 o'clock?
Do I
can
TiVo
be.
it?
So we meet everyone in their new identities, and one of these new
Do I have
identities.
to? Is it on an email? Is Yellowstone in an email? No.
One of these new identities is Kai Ritchie, which sounds
Guy
too much like
Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie.
Yes.
I don't understand. Travolta's
It's
name.
It's Guy Ritchie's martial arts pseudonym.
Right,
Yes, yeah.
right.
Travolta's name is Donovan Cage, and I wonder whether that was a shout out to Nick Cage because of the Face Off connection with Gershon being there. I don't
Wait
know.
a minute.
I don't know.
Donovan Cage
And-
is a real life billionaire,
Yeah,
Dan.
that's true.
And the
He is
face-off
in this-
connection with John Travolta.
I said
Sure.
that with Travolta and Gershon being there.
All right, and you just mentioned Gershon, I thought. But also, the Donovan Cage, I think, is actually a tip-off to the folk singer Donovan.
Elliot was so excited to interrupt you. He didn't let you.
Yeah, it's like I think that even if I didn't say Travolta, the fact that I've been talking about Travolta the whole time, it can be
I don't
assumed
know.
that I have clocked that Travolta was. He was
I
one
don't
of the
assume
ones
anything. I
whose
assume
face
nothing.
came off.
I'm like Mason Goddard.
He
I
was a
assume nothing.
titular face off.
His last name's Goddard. I forgot his last name.
Yeah, he's named after the rocket pioneer Goddard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There's like scenes of them being cool in the casino, I guess. and
there's
then-
a lot of them walking around in
Yeah.
suits, looking at
Yeah.
casinos, and this is one of those movies which is presented as if people still think casinos are the coolest places
Yeah.
you could possibly
Yeah.
be.
Yes.
Like Rat Pack, Sinatra, casinos, Vegas. When I feel like America has moved on from that
There's
idea
a
of
lo-
what a casino is.
There's a lot of shots of the exterior of the casino or them walking through, and the music sounds very much like menu music from one of the Persona games.
Yeah.
Stuart, I have written down the music. The music sounds like the character select screen from Marvel vs. Capcom. It's a slightly different slightly different takes on the music. And also, so they set up this casino they're going to as a playground for the rich and
Oh,
famous.
it's super luxe.
But the
yeah.
one they're shooting at, it just looks like a nice Hilton. It just looks like a nice Hilton
Yeah.
that costs like $300 a night and is close to the airport. Like it doesn't look like a bad hotel, but there's like this is where the rich and famous go to do their dirty deeds. It's just like this. Yeah, this is just a hotel near the airport.
Well, when they go to Zaid's private penthouse or whatever, yeah, it just looks like a nice hotel room. Like it doesn't. Yeah, it's not as nice as Kevin McAllister's hotel room in Home Alone 2,
No.
Lost in New York.
I mean, the hotel room they give this whale billionaire gambler character is like smaller than the hotel room I got upgraded to at the Planet Hollywood because I was only staying one night.
Speaking of that room, it's the room right below the penthouse because they're trying to figure out how they could heist, possibly from below, but that doesn't work out.
No.
Meanwhile, Gershon is being treated well by Salazar, her kidnapper. They're drinking champagne. They're bantering about how like he's actually never personally killed anyone directly,
But she
has. So who's the true monster here? We get a scene of Zaid Black.
Some real John Kramer logic. Saw series.
It's true. Zaid Black
as
puts
opposed
out
to Kramer from Seinfeld logic, which would be like,
More
I killed
from-
him, Jerry. Oh, I don't know.
Kramer versus Kramer, which is
You want to play a game, Jerry?
This game? Whoa! Why would you call it a game when it's very serious? There's no fun being had.
Kramer,
no
why
one's
are you
playing.
leaving notes for the cops? Just
Kramer.
don't leave them little clues that they can figure out.
Why are you waiting in the room the whole time pretending to be a dead body? Who's going to do that?
I got to make them appreciate life, Jerry.
meanwhile.
George, there's a bomb strapped to your wrist. You either got to shoot that guy first or dig the key out from his guts. Why do you do this to me? What?
It's supposed to be the summer of George.
Yeah.
He's literally killing Independent George. Yeah.
Dan,
Meanwhile-
you were saying.
Meanwhile, we
No,
get.
I want to see Jigfeld or Signsaw or whatever it would be called, or Kramer's Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Well, it got changed
Jerry,
to
it
Jigsaw
can't-
at Ellis Island. At Jealous Island.
Jerry, I can't believe you're telling me this isn't a great idea. I don't just kill people; I put them through game scenarios. Everyone has fun. It's great. My Kramer and my Seinfeld are very close together. I have to figure out how to do them separately.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
In contrast to Salazar, Mr. Black is not afraid to get his hands dirty. He puts out a cigar in the eye of some dude who's been skimming, then stabs him in the neck. So
Yeah.
he's bad.
Just to show what a bad guy he is. Yeah.
Pretty bad
And
dude.
he meets Travolta, a.k.a. High Roller Donovan Cage, sorry. And they have a little, good guy, bad guy sit down, and he gets, Travolta gets an invite to one of his epic poker games that they do. And there's a weird conversation with Haas about how he's counting on Haas for protection. And during this sort of back and forth between these characters who are brothers, I swear they do not look at each other's eyes once. Like they seem to be avoiding looking at one another as actors.
Now, here's the thing also. John Travolta is 22 years older than Lucas Haas. So you think they have different parents, or Lucas Haas' character was just the ultimate surprise? The ultimate surprise baby.
That's a good
that's
question.
a pretty bad surprise. I mean, my oldest brother is 13 years older than me, so
So add 9 years, add almost a decade to that difference.
I mean, I think this is all going to be covered in the prequel movie that they're going to put out of young Mason, played by the same actors.
Yeah.
It's like Boss Baby, but they're criminals. Yeah, yeah.
Well, the upshot of that conversation for the heist,
Crime
is
Boss Baby, it would be called.
that Link, thank you, is able to lift some prints from the glass that Zaid was drinking from, so they can make
This-
a fake hand for the security. Yeah,
This is something I want to point out. Link and Karis are constantly going undercover as employees at the hotel. No one at the hotel seems to recognize these are people they've never seen before who are suddenly working there until the very end of the movie. But like Link will just put on a series of different wigs and show
these
up
are
pretending to
the-
look. She's working at the bar. She's working at the front desk. It's like, does nobody recognize this is not a person who works here?
These
Come
are
on.
the most busted ass, dry, fake
Yeah.
wigs.
They're terrible
and there's a
wigs.
scene where there's a very like dramatic scene later on where she confronts Karis for like betraying them, and she does the whole thing in this horrible wig, and I'm like, the fucking queens on Drag Race would read her to fucking filth for this
I
shit.
wouldn't be surprised if this movie was partially bankrolled by Spirit Halloween. And they're just like, you have to use our wigs. You have to use our $5 discount wigs.
When she is undercover as a bartender, she does pour a martini and then sits in the back because I wasn't paying attention to what was happening in the foreground. I was just watching the bartender. Of
course.
And
Yeah.
she was like wiping the outside of the shaker tin. I'm like, what are you
Well, bartenders wipe stuff. That's what bartenders do. They wipe things.
That's why they always got a little towel on their shoulder or whatever.
That's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
The funniest thing about it is that like bartenders never did that until non-bartender
Oh, Cheers?
Ted Danson started doing it. Yeah, because he just thought he's like, yeah, I should do something with my hands. So he put this on his shoulder.
weird.
And I know bartenders who do that still, but nobody ever did it before because like, why would you put a wet rag on your shirt?
Meanwhile, the feds are also going to converge on this casino. They've heard that the gang has been spotted there. Salazar is sending cameras so he can watch the whole heist go down.
I would love to see
how
the
he gets
briefing,
off.
the FBI briefing where they're like, okay, this time, guys, I want to remind you, those pools are filled with water, just normal H2O. It is not an acid of any kind. It is not a poison. You do not have to be afraid of the pool. You don't have to stand back. If they go through the pool and they get out the other side, it is not because they are wearing magic rings or other sort of artifacts that give them the ability to survive it.
write this down, dog.
Yeah, write it down. Write it down. It's okay.
Oh, this is Cash Patel's FBI. I see.
I mean, this, yeah.
The leader of the
Actually,
FBI.
Cash Patel's FBI would be like, guys, I already said on Twitter that we caught Mason Goddard, and how you made me look like an idiot. Now I got to go on Twitter and apologize to Kim Kardashian that I was wrong about that.
Yeah, the leader of the FBI agents is Agent Richter, who is played by an actor who looks a lot like if Josh Charles was like starring in one of those testosterone ads that play on cable TV.
I kept thinking it was Josh Charles, and then I would look again and be like, oh, wait, never mind. Yeah.
Link has a little bit of a squinting at Sydney Sweeney quality to her.
Yes.
I did think
Yes,
it was
very
her
much so.
for almost 1 second. I'm like, oh, oh no, okay, never mind.
Oh,
I
no,
also-
she's like Russian. Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
and I couldn't, at first I was like, is she doing an Eastern European accent, or is that her regular accent? I think it's just a regular accent.
I think it's
Yeah,
her
and-
regular
and I-
accent that
it's
she's
tough.
mostly lost. But
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough to say if she's trying to like be American or where. I mean, no one knowing it's any backstory. I'm sure they did it all in whatever the first movie was. But yeah, Link and where she is from is a mystery.
And I'm gonna say, just because it has to be made a point made in the times we live in, you can have an accent and still be an American. That's
Hey,
that's something
absolutely.
that it doesn't
Good save.
disqualify
Well
you from being
said.
an American citizen.
Elliot.
Yeah.
wow, you're letting me talk, and I'm not prepared because I was like, oh, they'll keep yapping on. I was going to see.
We can do more Seinfeld Jigsaw stuff if you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
No,
Maybe you want to do
I-
a little Seinfeld Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
maybe
you thought
That's
it was
fun.
okay to date a 17-year-old Jerry.
I was confirming. I was confirming what I had thought that like this actor's name is Natalie Yura, so she's probably
You're a what?
that's her actual accent. What?
Yes, I think that is her actual accent.
So anyway, Travolta doesn't want these cameras
Why
looking.
do they call him Jigsaw?
boy.
He doesn't do puzzles. He gives people puzzles, but they're not jigsaw puzzles. Why do they call it a jigsaw? Do you dance while you cut things with it?
Jerry,
Jerry, you could
Jerry,
just
we've
Google
tied-
these things.
Jerry, we've tied you to the wheel of this 67 Corvette, and it's about to fill with hot coffee.
I chose to be tortured by the 67 Corvette because it's a classic car. Stylish,
yes.
powerful.
Ugh.
You gotta love it.
We
Yeah.
love it when rich guys tell you
I
about
I
cars.
took Jigsaw out to the to the corner cafe to talk about how we do things. So how'd you get into torturing people? Well, when I was young, I didn't even realize this was a job you could have.
Yeah, he doesn't want these.
Who? Jigsaw?
I mean,
See, the problem is like every time you actually give me space to talk, I'm like, okay, well, they're going to be on this for a while. Let me look at something
Let me
to
read my
Just
look ahead.
notes,
We're just
yeah.
keeping you on your toes, Dan.
Uh-huh.
All 9 of them.
Maybe just warn me when you decide that I can continue.
I think we're at the epic poker game, right?
Yeah, sorry,
they've
Yes.
called Travolta has agreed to enter this epic poker
Yes.
game, and that's
And,
when he's going to find the safe.
He's been flirting with what's her name? Bella,
Well,
is that it?
No, I'm back at it. Let me
Okay.
get to it. Okay, so on this phone call, there's these babysitting cameras that are coming over, and also we learn that Zayd is Salazar's brother. This is the important piece of information
Yes.
that is in this phone
Oh,
call.
without it, the movie doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bella, the casino director you mentioned, is like, everything's got to be perfect tonight for the game. But they make a big deal about how her young nephew Ruben is there because, like, I guess the mom or whoever takes care of this person has an emergency. They have to go, and they make it like it's going to like play into things.
This
but it
never
doesn't.
means
It doesn't
anything.
pay off for anything.
Yeah,
like,
it really doesn't.
there's one point where Ruben sees Travolta like go out of a door that he shouldn't have gone out and doesn't say anything about
No.
it, and that's the closest it comes to paying off.
This has big. One of the producers has a kid, and wanted the kid to be in the movie.
Mhm.
Energy, you know.
And at some point, so they go, let's
Kid's
go
not
get you.
bad.
The kid's
No,
not
no, the
bad.
kid's not bad. The kid is actually, I think he's really funny in it. Like, he's just, because the thing is, the kid is expressing the entire time disinterest in everything that is going on.
Yeah.
He does not care. He does not want to be there. And I think he does a really good job pulling it off in a
Well,
funny
and
way.
like all kids his age, he's obsessed with his Microsoft Surface. We all know these kids playing with
They
their
love it.
Microsoft
Oh, that's
Surface.
why the kid's in the thing.
Yeah,
oh,
would've been
he's
a-
just there for the.
A note about Bella, who I think is very good, and she's a real like age appropriate babe. I do kind of appreciate that the babes in this movie are the like age of their kind of male counterparts, and Bella is great, but points toward this movie was made completely by old people. Whenever she has to like talk to her, like the guy she's in a relationship with, she calls him dear. She's like,
Oh.
she's like, let's get this epic poker game together, dear.
And you know that
crackling
Link is-
sexual tension,
You know that Link and Karis are young because they call each other babe.
babe. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like an annoying couple yelling at each other at a Whole Foods. Babe, babe.
So the team
Do we have
discovers.
to get the organic kale?
Do you
Babe,
want
it's
stuffed
like $1
olives?
more.
Do you want stuffed, babe? Stuffed olives, babe.
What you don't know is that he went there with Babe the Blue Ox.
Right.
Because
Oh.
they're planning a surprise party
Sure.
for Paul Bunyan.
And,
so he
you
has
know,
to
they're
go-
gonna go
because
meet
Babe
a
the pig is
pig in
also
the
there.
city,
So
yeah. And
like,
Babe
were you
Ruth,
talking
yeah.
to me?
Yeah, it's
No.
What about
Real
me,
mix
the
up.
Babe? John Goodman, you just played the Babe in one movie. You're not actually Babe Ruth. Where am I? Oh, John Goodman.
Poor guy. So the
He
this
truly
team,
was a good man.
the team discovers.
As long as he doesn't turn into his alter ego, John Badman, when he gets hit on the head.
yeah.
Just gets a beard, gets like
grows- yeah, he grows a
gets a
goatee for
pointy
some
beard.
John Batman.
Bad man, meet Dirtbox.
And then, of
must
course,
never
there's
let
John,
John
Bad
Goodman-
Ham.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
like, you don't want to eat his ham.
No, it's spoiled rotten. Yeah,
So the team discovers.
and of course, anyway, never mind.
there's a fly in the ointment. There's a second safe, so they don't know where
Yes.
the thing they want is. Their plans are in disarray. They have to hit both safes simultaneously for safety for some reason. But it'll take.
Because safe is in the name word
Oh,
safety.
I get it.
yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it. Well, I mean, it's interesting. Like, I get the idea of like you hit them both at the same time. So like if something goes wrong, if an alarm goes off or whatever, like there's not going to be a second chance if you don't hit them simultaneously. I get it on that level. Later on, they act like, oh, we both have to put our hands on the thing at the exact same time. I'm like, why? Why?
Especially since
that
they're
would
using-
shut the thing down. It's like the same guy. They'd be like,
Exactly.
no, someone's trying to do it. You know.
They're like, I guess the thing they left out is that Zayd, the bad guy, has Mr. Fantastic powers, so
Right.
he can
Yeah.
stretch
He
his arms
usually-
all the way across through multiple rooms. But it is funny that they're setting it up for suspense when it's totally meaningless to do it at the exact same time. For
Yeah.
the reason
And
you're
there's
saying
also
that.
the ticking clock of a guy who knows the real Donovan Cage
Not
is
just
going to
any
be
guy.
showing up.
Yeah.
The
Chaz.
famous Chaz Antonelli.
Chaz
And they
Antonelli.
mention his name so many times before he shows up. Like, Chaz Antonelli, our good friend. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Chaz Antonelli.
We see him arriving in a plane around this point, but right before that, what we see is Mason, Sean, and Anton walking down the hall to Take 5 by Dave Brubeck after.
Yeah.
Nothing cooler.
That's the
'Cause he-
one
'cause-
recognizable music drop in this is Dave Brubeck's Take 5.
and it's because
Yeah.
John Travolta says they were playing jazz tonight.
Playing
you know?
jazz. They're
Jazz.
just
We're
going
just
to
gonna have to play jazz.
improvise their
Improvise,
way out
yeah.
of this.
So you're talking.
dilemma.
We've talked about how large the crew is,
And
the
in
team.
charge.
And after that opening action sequence, I feel like at all times the crew greatly outnumbers the bad guys. There's almost never a time where there's fewer crew than there are baddies.
Yes. And well,
Which
and
makes
listen-
the threat feel less intense.
and they all have a job. Mason, he's the front man. He's going to con his way in, pretending to be a
Right.
billionaire, so we can get close to Zayd.
Suave, charming.
suave, charming.
Plays cards.
Sean, he's the safe cracker. He's going to pretend that he's like Mason's bodyguard, who is also playing poker for some reason, but he's going to crack the safe. Link, she's doing the tech stuff. Karis, he's, I'm not sure, helping out Link. Quavo, Anton, he's, I don't know. And Hector, he's like, he's around
Doing something else.
I guess he's gonna set up a distraction at some point. It's I guess if they made it clear what everybody's doing, because Anton just pretends to be another person at the hotel who then is going to take part in this fancy another guest who's going to take part in this fancy poker game, but he doesn't do anything after
Yeah.
that. Like he's just filling out the game, you know.
I want to take this moment to give this movie some very faint praise in that, like, at least it
No
is
one was
set-
killed while making it that we know of. So it's got one up on John Landis.
They're very simple complications.
There is actually an in memoriam at the end, though.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah.
I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
for I don't think he died in the line
Yeah.
of making the movie, but I'm not sure. But you're right. There's an in memoriam.
Even though they're like kind of basic complications, the movie, is like taking the time to be like, okay, like this is a heist movie. We got to have complications arise. Like, oh, there's two safes. Like, we got to deal with that now. Oh, there's a guy who knows what the guy that Travolta is pretending to be looks like on his way. We got to take like. I appreciate that they don't execute these all that well,
No,
but I
well,
appreciate
would-
that there's some.
I think
I'll
you're
agree
right.
with you, Dan.
I'll agree with you. They are trying to. I would call this a relaxed fit heist movie.
Yeah.
I think that it's like there are complications, but they get over them pretty easily. You're never really in any doubt that they're going to pull it off. But you're right that they are at least introducing things that could get in their way.
Yeah.
you know?
Just like how I feel when I put on a nice pair of relaxed fit Levi's jeans. I always think I'll be able to get them off again. Now, I do want to point out we're talking about.
promo code flop at checkout.
Yep.
I mean, you can try.
Why not?
See if it works. I don't know.
Since we're talking about everybody's specialized roles and skills, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about one of my favorite elements of the movie, where during this high stakes poker game, they make a big deal of saying how they brought these master mixologists into the suite.
Yes.
Yeah.
They say
To help.
these are the best bartenders in the world. They
And
say.
of course, this mainly is to set up Lucas Haas's character, where they're like, "Do you want anything?" And he just orders a beer.
Yeah.
There's not much of a joke there. They just keep asking for beer, and then later on, go on.
Oh, good. Go on.
And then there's the moment where she's like, "You should try something other than a beer." And he's like, "What should I get?" And she thinks for a second, and she goes, "How about a Cuba Libre, a rum and coke?" Which
Yeah,
is
this
the
is the
funniest.
moment I texted Stuart about. I'm like, there's a very specific bartending thing that I was scoffing at. I'm like, she's making fun of me. She's like, we got this great cocktail guy here. Order a cocktail. And he's like, okay, what do you suggest? A Cuba Libre? I'm like, it's a fucking rum and coke. Like, did the writer of this not know that? They're just like, oh, it's a fancy sounding name.
I think
like,
that's probably what happened. Yeah.
oh my God.
It's so funny.
This
When
is I like that
obviously
this-
that guy who's drinking, just give him an old fashioned. That's what.
There
that's
you
what
go.
guys.
That's what they
want.
always want.
Yeah.
Stu, I like that. This
Maybe
is
a
for you.
smoked old fashioned, because that's like what old guys like.
Give him something with pickle juice in it if you're a mixologist. Do something out of the ordinary.
Give him a dirty gurt.
Yeah, Lucas Haas looks like he'd enjoy some pickles.
Sure, but for Stuart, this is for
Yeah.
you what the paleontologist in Jurassic World saying mosasaurs were dinosaurs is for me. Where
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
come on, what are you doing?
Yeah, because that my career as a bar owner and bartender is similar to your career as a paleontologist.
Very much so. Very much so.
So we're at this epic poker game, which is, God knows there's nothing more thrilling than watching scripted card playing.
God, and they don't show you anyone's cards, so you
No.
can't even get invested in it.
Yeah.
Like
You
there's
have-
a way to do a suspenseful scene where you see someone's hand and you see if they're bluffing or not, and they just they don't show you any cards ever. There's one moment where you see that someone is palmed an ace, but that's the
Not
only
just
time.
someone. Zayd Black.
Zayd Black,
the,
yes.
the bad
Cheating
guy.
in his
Our
own
old
game.
friend.
Yeah, but it is I could not tell if we were supposed to be watching a game or just a montage of different games. Like they're not trying to create suspense.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought they were, but it's just a series of people saying, I raise, I call, I raise, I call. And I was like, there's no way to
there's
keep track
nothing
of what's
here.
going on. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It's a waste of time.
But during the scene, we do learn that Bella used to be with Salazar, perhaps the root of this feud between brothers. Link drops by pretending to be Cage's executive assistant. Sorry,
In
and this is,
the
I guess,
funniest of her wigs.
to
Yeah.
drop off the second fake glove, fake fingerprint.
She's
glove.
wearing, I think it's the same. It might be the same wig that Natalie Portman is wearing when she is a stripper in the movie Closer.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. They got to make their move. Chaz is on the
Stole
way.
it from a Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, they brought that was
Using her
the real
elite
heist
skills.
was
Right,
the
we
real
have-
heist was busting it out of the Planet Hollywood. Yeah,
This was
We're
another
gonna steal
very
the most famous movie prop of all time. No, not
it's-
Rosebud the sled.
no,
Natalie
but also-
Portman stripper wig.
Which,
You know, and-
which fucking Planet Hollywood is Rosebud in?
I mean Rosebud, not a joke, is at the Academy Museum.
Oh,
in,
is it?
in Los Angeles because it's owned by Steven Spielberg, and so he lent it to. It's a Rosebud that was made as a duplicate for the movie in case they needed to burn it another time, and they did not need to. So it's not the one from the. It's not
I see.
It's not the screen used prop. It is screen accurate. Anyway, that's a little bit of actual clarification there. But I imagine them just sending the real John Travolta into Planet Hollywood and being like, "Yeah, can I take a look at that?" And he puts it on his head and then runs away.
Yeah,
It's
well,
basically-
some music like do 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 do
Right.
plays in the background.
It's basically every heist from the movie The
Let me
Master
take
of
you for a
Disguise.
ride.
Oh, so it really is the Marvel versus Capcom.
I love that
characters
music.
like screen.
That would be the funny unbearable weight of massive talent version of this movie is them having the actual John Travolta having to heist props from the last Planet Hollywood so that they can use in this movie.
He remembers that he stole a diamond when he was making Stayin' Alive, and he
Right.
hid it inside of his costume. And now
He remembers.
The last Planet Hollywood is being sold, and he's got to get in there and get it before they demolish the place. I don't know.
Honestly, this is good. That's
Yeah,
a
it's
fun
actually
movie.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That should be a movie.
And you call it Stealing Hollywood or something like
Yes!
that. Yeah.
Well,
Planet Heisty Wood.
Planet
No, that
Heist.
doesn't
Yeah,
work.
Planet Heisty Wood is good. Let's go to lunch.
Chaz is coming, so they gotta make their move. And this is very funny to me. That their distraction so they can make a move is that Hector outside sets off a bunch of fireworks, and all of these hardened, high-rolling gamblers are like, "Hey, there's fireworks in the window. Let's all go look at them."
They leave the game, and Bella says, "Ruben, look, fireworks!" And the kid is like, "Wah," like doesn't care,
Doesn't care.
But it is, and Anton is like, "Wow, fireworks! This is an amazing place."
It is
They're
like-
acting as if
it's like when
fireworks are.
It's like when you take a 3-year-old out to see a garbage truck come by. Oh, cool! What?
Jordan,
Oh.
as someone who has lived that life, yes, you are exactly right. That is exactly what it's like.
I mean, there's also the other distraction that happens is that Link makes a lot of the slot
I
machines
did-
pay
you know,
off downstairs.
Yeah,
but
that's a
like it's barely a distraction. Sorry, what were you going to say?
It's
Elliot?
just saying Salazar's like, it's like, after sticking my lit cigar into a man's eye and then stabbing him in the throat, it's nice to know I can still be entertained by the innocence of fireworks.
I have a
that was
childlike
a big
joy.
one. Yay!
Boom, boom. Okay, now I'm getting a little bored of them. Oh, now it's the finale.
So-
This is good.
Now let's all watch Bluey.
Oh, they're syncing it up to a pop song now.
Oh, that's good. That one looks a little bit like a heart, but it's kind of squished a little bit.
So the guy blah, blah, blah.
They are
go
so
off.
enamored of the fireworks. It's
Yeah,
really funny.
cute.
They go off and look for their the safes. Haas is looking in the bedroom.
Safe-I.
I'm
The
not
plural,
sure
the plural
where
is safe-I.
I'm not sure where Travolta is looking, but they both find these safes, and they put their palms in the sensors at the same time. They unlock it.
And Salazar is watching this and kibitzing the entire time. Come
Yeah.
on, idiot! Open, find the lever, idiot! Come on! Oh, stupid! And it's like, come on,
they can't
guy.
seem to find the hard drive that they're looking for. Meanwhile, Hector is apprehended in the men's room for his fireworks ploy.
Presumably for entertaining everyone so well. They want to give him a job, you know?
Or kidnapping you and making you the lead fireworks guy.
Like Haas finds something interesting.
Your
like
crime
this,
is being a sorcerer for making the lights and fire appear in the sky. Where's your dragon, sir?
rain from the sky.
Conjuring, yeah.
Haas finds something.
How does this man
interesting,
make flame without flint or tinder?
like a puzzle
Well,
box?
I did use a lighter. Oh, never mind then.
A puzzle box. He finds a puzzle box with a little USB drive. Just as, like
Cenobite comes out.
Salazar's
Yeah,
I have so much
Pinhead
beauty
cuts
to
out.
show you, pain to teach you. Yeah.
It's got a little USB drive. They take it.
By the way, I think Lucas Haas gives me the vibe of a guy who would open up the Hellraiser box.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
totally.
100%.
So and they've rigged it so Chaz gets stuck in the elevator. So that pressure's off for the moment.
Phew.
And as Bella and Zayd go to deal with that, the others check in with Link to deliver the hard drive. And there's like all this lines about like, oh, this belongs to Isabel Farrow. And I guess the crypto drive they're actually after in the first movie because Travolta's like, I think Bella is Isabel Farrow. She left Salazar, so it tracks. And I'm like, I guess, man, I don't really understand what's
Yeah, this is
going
baffling.
on here.
And they do talk a lot about like what happened in Seattle. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this is just like, I mean, I guess that's where the first movie takes place, and it's really exciting to the point where
Yeah.
everybody wants to remember it
I mean,
constantly.
Seattle's
Right.
okay. You can see a fish flying through the air.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I've been there. I've seen it. It's
I
real
mean, I
fun.
can throw a fish in the air if I want to. At
Dan,
home for free.
Dan, not the way
over
they
here.
do it.
Wow.
Not the way they do it.
Shots fired.
Dan, Seattle, you know who? Seattle is where New Zealand trained. Okay, they do
Oh,
it the best
okay.
there. Yeah,
Boomerang Fishmaster.
yeah. That sounds
I
like a
throw
Hong
the
Kong
fish,
movie.
and
That sounds
they
like a
come
Shaw
back
Brothers
to
movie
me.
from 1973. Boomerang Fishmaster.
But Travolta is like, oh,
when the crime boss came for the Hong Kong fish market, the Boomerang Fishmaster wasn't gonna let it happen.
Travolta intuits that Salazar is actually after the dirt
That sounds
box.
like, wait a minute. I mean, it's not a Shaw Brothers thing. That's a good Sammo Hung role. That's a
Yeah.
great role for Sammo Hung. Is as that Boomerang Fishmaster saving a
You
Hong
got
Kong fish
comedy,
market.
you got action, you got class.
Fish.
Mhm. Maybe a ghost shows up at the end. Who knows? Yeah.
So they figure that there's something else that they haven't found yet that they need to find,
Love.
essentially. Meanwhile, Gershon almost escapes. There's more like
She
Like,
only
what
uses
do- what-
blades. What we learned about Krishan is that she kills with a knife. He's like that. She never. I guess she uses it. Tries to use a gun later, but he's like, "What's it like? Oh, it's physics, isn't it? The distance from you to the knife, the speed
Well-
you can move at." And then she breaks a mirror and uses a blade, uses a shard from it. And I'm like, I love that that this character is apparently into hands-on wet work, like close-up kills. Yeah.
well, and there's more talk of like, oh, what's it like to kill and she says, like, well, if you're killing a bad person, someone you know is bad, it's like the world's greatest orgasm, which I'm like, okay, this is one of our heroes, I guess.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hector's tied up downstairs. Zayd comes in. It looks like he's going to repeat the cigar routine. And honestly, in this scene, Hector does some of the best acting in the movie, trying to convince him that he's just a drunk guy who set off some fireworks.
Truck full of fireworks.
The feds arrive, and there's some noticeably bad green screen behind Link at one point. Like,
Right.
did you see that? It like looks like a Zoom background, like fading out, where she's like supposed to be in this hotel room, but
I didn't remember that part,
she
but
like
I think not
fades into the
I
background.
do love there was a shot while they were preparing for their heist and they're all staying in this little hotel room and they're all like scrunched up on the floor. And it is really funny that this whole team stays in the guy who's undercover's hotel room. Like,
Yeah.
they have cameras and shit. Like, they would know that like 10 people are staying
Like
there.
if room service shows up, they find pillows and blankets all over the floors and couches.
And they
yeah.
all are just in their clothes, covered up with blankies. Like no one,
except for Mason, who has
silk
pajamas and a robe.
pajamas. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is funny. Everyone else just sleeps in their clothes, but John Travolta changes into silk pajamas. He's got to play the role of whoever that billionaire is.
Look, I bought $40,000 pajamas,
Right.
so I would feel like a billionaire. So I'm never breaking character.
I can see that just being how John Travolta shows up to a set, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, fine,
Yeah, could
just
be.
shoot him.
He's like who's the why am I forgetting his name? The artist Julian Schnabel, who just wears pajamas everywhere and just shows up at fancy events in pajamas, and it looks ridiculous. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
I mean, I vaguely know who
No.
Director of
Julian
Basquiat?
Schnabel is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Link
Inventor of the door schnob, which is like a doorknob, but a little sillier.
Link saves Hector
It goes
from being
auga
blinded.
when you try and turn it. It gets me every time.
Every time I don't expect it.
Link saves Hector
And
from
then my
being
big mouth Billy Bass starts singing at me from the wall, and I'm like, whoa, hold on.
I got
I thought you were just a fish.
My house is too funny. Everything in my house is cracking me up.
Well, I'm just going to open up this can of peanuts I have over here.
I should have known when I looked at the listing and it said 3-bedroom silly.
Oh, this cactus is. I'm just gonna water it a little bit. This cactus, not too much. It's a cactus. Oh, it's dancing. It's a dancing cactus.
Whoa.
Now to drink out of this ordinary Pepsi can.
I feel so bad for the realtor that has that fucking listing. I can't feed my
Like at
family.
the office, they're like, you can take those things out of the house.
She's showing people through. They're like, "We'll get rid of those." No, they come with the house. It's
Yeah, you
stipulated.
have
If you
to.
buy it, you have to keep them.
They're like, oh, wow, I'm tired from walking around this house. Let me just sit in this chair. No. There's a whoopee cushion there. Don't sit there.
The chairs are all
Previous
giant
owner
whoopee
regarded
cushions.
regarded these as their children, so they're stipulated in the will.
Hey, is it okay if I just got to run off and use the bathroom? No, there's saran wrap across all the seats.
What a funny house.
This house sounds pretty funny.
Yeah. Today on $1 Million Prank House, our agents are going to see if they can sell the $1 Million Prank House. Couldn't do it. We couldn't sell the $1 Million Prank House. All right, find out next episode if we can finally unload this cursed house.
I mean, honestly, we don't want to sell it. The show would be over if we finally.
Right, we just have the one prank
sold the
house.
house.
We have to make 40 episodes a year of this for HGTV.
It reminds me of when I was a kid. There was like a community event space that the town would hold parties and things in, and we used to go to them sometimes. And in the men's bathroom, there was a light switch with a plate around it of a tennis player with his pants down, so that the light switch was his penis. And as a kid, I was like, "What is this? Why would you put this somewhere?" But in the $1 Million Prank House, all the light switches have
They're
those
all
light
dicks,
switches.
yeah.
All have
All
penis.
dicks.
Tennis
Yeah.
players' penises.
Love this young Elliot. Why would you do that?
Doesn't make any sense.
And I'd be like, "Does the ladies' room have the lady version of this? Because what would it be? I don't understand."
Elliot, let me show you.
It's a
And
giant
Sebastian
clitoris.
Maniscalco happened to be in that bathroom, and he heard you
Why
say,
would
"Why
you
would you
do
do this?"
this?
He's like,
Wait
"There's
a
something there.
There's something
I just
here.
gotta say it a lot funnier."
Now I can now I'm imagining Jig Sebastian, which is Sebastian Maniscalco as Jigsaw. Why would you let me trap you? Why would you let me do this?
Why would you do that? There has to be more marbles in your mouth.
You're right. I'm speaking a little too smoothly.
Guys, I'd prefer if you did not make fun of my wife's favorite stand-up comedian, please. She listens to this podcast and it would make her very upset.
it would be Sebastian Maniscalco. That would be his name. Yeah.
Anyway, I was trying to tell you about how Hector got saved. Link
Yeah, he walked into that funny house.
by telling him Chaz
And all the
is
guys
in the
cracked
elevator.
up too much, and he was able to get away.
The feds were like, "We can't go in there. It's impossible. We don't have jurisdiction over Funny House." Yeah.
And around this point, Link hears a phone buzzing, and she's like, "I didn't know my husband had another burner." And she picks it up, and it's Salazar saying, "Don't let your little girlfriend upload the dirt box." Uh-oh. Link, you've been sleeping with the enemy.
Yeah.
He was sleeping with Salazar.
What a twist.
I mean, I
And-
wouldn't put it past him. I mean,
Yeah.
Salazar can get it.
Yeah.
What's that? What's
Salazar did the classic thing in movies of the phone picks up, and you don't wait for the other person to say hello. You just immediately say the incriminating
let me
thing.
I
say
got
the
some
incriminating-
incriminating evidence to
Right.
unload.
And Link accuses him. What's his name again? I don't know. Karis. Right when he comes back, which to me seems like a bad idea. Wait till like there's backup in the room, girl. Like, why are you just like like?
And again, she's wearing this terrible wig, which I think probably makes her feel like she has immunity because she's somebody else.
That's
Yes,
true.
and I think, and she's distraught. She really
Yeah.
loved him. Dan, here's how you remember his name is Karis. There's Anton and Karis, and that is a reference to Anton Karis, who played the zither in the Third Man soundtrack.
Actually, that's true. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a helpful mnemonic.
That's a good mnemonic for remembering the character names in the movies Cash Out and High Rollers.
Well, in that case,
And if you're the kind of person who's watching,
Karis.
if you're watching High Rollers and the Third Man, you have an interesting night ahead of you. Yeah. So Karis, yeah.
Karis did this because
Oh wow, he's
he
doing
wanted
good.
revenge on Mason for making him look like a fool in the first movie, and also Salazar's threatening his family. But Link has none of it.
First part
tosses
seems
him
less
out.
important.
Yeah, he should have led with the family. Travolta has heard all this on his earpiece. He's sympathetic. Man, that guy's one of the world's nicest super criminals, I'll tell you.
Not
And,
since the mercenaries of Jurassic World Rebirth have we seen people who live in a moral gray zone but are just sweetie pies. Yeah.
Bella shows up with security, insisting that Travolta
So
simply.
wait, I want to say two things. It sounded like you said security, like Shakira is their security, and also Trolta, like John Travolta is now a troll. And I want to see that movie. I want to see the movie where John Travolta's character is a troll, like in the movie Trolls, and Shakira is the security guard. I want to see it. Yeah.
But his like big crazy hairs instead a beard, right?
Yeah, he has a big crazy beard that comes out
Yeah.
like that, but he's bald on the top. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately,
and they call him
Elliot,
John Travolta.
we're
If only we had a trolls expert in the house, but I guess we don't. So let's move on.
Yes, I
unfortunately.
briefly worked for DreamWorks' Trollstopia, the streaming companion piece to the Trolls films.
So what do you
Now,
think
how
of
did
troll?
it
Yeah, do you think?
expand the world? Sorry.
I was going to say, do you think Trollta would have been a great addition to the trolls canon?
Listen, I pitched it. Like he can dance. But they said
definitely
If he
no,
wants to.
if he wants to.
Bella shows up with security, saying, "Donovan, you simply must come see your buddy Chaz." And it seems like the jig is up, but he keeps sticking to his story.
She goes, Chaz isn't. His limp is getting worse. He goes, Chaz never had a limp.
Yeah,
he doesn't fall into that trap.
Yeah. On his earpiece, he hears from Link that there's a fancy hidden compartment inside a giant ruby, like the one Bella's wearing on her necklace.
Her giant costume
That you can,
jewelry
the-
is
that you
worn
can
the whole time.
also get at Spirit Halloween.
I mean, that
promo code High Rollers.
That ruby is so enormous.
Yeah.
It's either fake or it costs $100 million.
Yeah, it's either fake or a key to a lock in Resident Evil.
or it's some kind of gem from another dimension that imbues the wearer with the power of the gods. It's enormous. It's a He-Man sized ruby. Yeah.
We get a few hilarious seconds of Travolta being like, "Chaz, buddy, you lost weight," just trying to
It is-
bullshit his way through
It is
it.
so funny, the idea that he is like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna
Hey
pretend I know.
man, that's
and-
jazz.
And the way he gets out of the situation is so hilariously relaxed fit. Dan, how does he
Yeah.
get out of this situation?
The lights go out. I assume Link cut the lights,
Yeah.
and he just grabs the
Grabs it and
necklace and
runs
runs.
away.
and runs away because the necklace, of course, is on a breakaway chain. But it is the goofy. And then no one chases him. They just stand around going, "That wasn't Donovan. What is
Surely
this?"
we
Right,
can't
it's
catch
true.
this 70-year-old man toddling through this
It's
hotel
true. There is
lobby.
this does lead directly into gunplay, but it's from the feds. It's not even them chasing.
I would say this is the silliest getting away, but we did see them escape the feds by jumping in a pool. So
Yeah.
The police are called in. Hector gets rescued. Travolta and Link slip off dressed as chefs. They have apparently punched out some chefs and undressed them and taken their clothes or something.
This does have one moment of someone on the kitchen staff recognizing them and like calling it in. It's the first time that is even remotely realistic because they've been 10 different hotel employees during this movie, and this is the one time where someone's like, I guess I've never seen these people.
Are we on like a fucking undercover boss or something?
Oh yeah,
because that wig is so bad.
Terrible
is that
wig.
Bella pretending that she works here? It makes me so over Christmas. I was in a hotel in Hawaii. I know I live a great life, and and it makes me wonder if I had just taken someone's uniform and walked around the hotel pretending I worked there, would anyone have noticed? Would they have called me out, or they just assumed I worked there?
That is the plot of White Lotus season 4, Elliot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sounds sexy.
They're trying to escape through their escape.
No, I swear, I'm a guest here. I don't really work here. Sure. You're working in the boiler room dungeon now. No.
Their escape involves going under like the stage of the theater in the casino, but they're
Theater
stopped.
Theater is putting it.
Yeah,
really
it's more like
building
a
it up.
convention hall, but
It's like an auditorium at best. Yeah.
They're stopped by Zayd, who is upset but not surprised to learn that his brother is behind everything that's going on, and he's going to shoot Travolta, but Karras shows up to redeem himself and hits him with a fire extinguisher.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not
but
how
he
they're
gets,
supposed to be used.
he gets stabbed for his troubles, and it looks like Zayd is going to take the upper hand. But then Bella shows up and shoots him, saying that he stole something from her and she's going to get it back. And the team escapes through a tunnel.
And even though Karras got stabbed in the leg, like in the opening of 28 years later, he doesn't die immediately.
No, it didn't hit the artery.
And he's actually pretty good at running from that point on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come out from this long, like ductwork and tunnel thing to Zayd's shrimp processing plant.
Which is
to the
right next to the
hotel.
casino. Yeah.
There's a big
It's implied that it is under the hotel, which is strange. Yeah.
There's a big shootout here that's shot really strangely, including some like first-person shooter things where you just see like an arm and a gun. And I'm like, was this because they didn't get the actors back? They're doing pickups later on.
I'm assuming there were some drone shots,
There's
too.
a lot of drone
A lot of like
Yeah.
zooming around with drones.
A lot of drone shots zooming around.
CGI blood.
There's one scene where it's the camera zooming around while it's following them, and then I missed a cut the first time I watched it, and so I thought they were running into a room where they were also running in from the other side of the room, and I was like, "What is going
The
on in this
temporal
movie?"
pincher movement.
Yeah. But
It's just what's that movie? Is it Contact, the movie where someone runs up a flight of stairs to a mirror, and then it turns out we were looking at the reflection the whole time?
Yes, Contact.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a great show.
just outside the shrimp factory, they get stopped by Salazar and some goons who have Gina Gershon. They give him the dirt box, and Salazar seems like he's going to go back on the exchange, and he like calls back to like how he's never killed anyone, and he recently learned that from Gina Gershon that it can be orgasmic if it's someone bad, but he's a cynical man who thinks that everyone's bad, so he can shoot anybody. And
Finally,
Salazar,
I will be multi-orgasmic because the period it takes me to re-achieve erection is too long for me to do it in the normal way.
This scene-
Finally, I can be like Sting.
It's called
and
the
do it.
refractory period.
my hero Sting.
My
hero
Sting. I can achieve a stinggasm by not touching my weenus.
This
That
has
would be
another.
like, I'm on a field of gold.
This scene has another example of that thing where someone gets a cliche kind of wrong, like can't help a girl for trying.
Yeah.
I think the bad guy says something along the lines of like, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. But he's like, I'm not a Bible man. I think what he was probably should have said was, I'm not a religious man, but he says, I'm not a Bible man.
Well, no, he was referring to Bible Man, the character Willie Ames played in the series.
Right.
Oh,
Yes,
he's
the
Christian
direct
videos.
Talking about
VHS
the-
superhero from the 90s.
Documentary salesman about Bible sellers. He's
No,
not. He's saying I'm
not
not one of them.
I'm not one of those Bible men who would live a life of misery. You know,
Right.
a real probing look at American
Yeah,
capitalism
sure.
at its most naked.
To sell these Bibles, you have to ABC, always be Christen.
So
Speak Christ. Is that what God told Jesus before he sent him down?
Yeah.
ABC, son, always be Christen. What if I just want to take a break from Christen? Like if I'm tired of healing lepers? No. ABC. You want to look, First prize.
Also-
first prize is the car. Second prize is a steak knife.
Coffee
Third
is for
prize
Christers.
you get crucified. So
Also, think to yourself, what would you do?
yeah.
It's from Glenn Christ.
Oh, the saddest one is the old man Christ who's like, "Come on, I gotta get another couple conversions. Help me out here." Oh, you tried to convert the Nyborgs? Oh yeah, they just
Yeah.
like talking to Christs. They don't actually convert. That's a good sketch. That's a good. If we ever
Thank
write
you,
for
thank
Mr.
you,
Show,
yeah.
Glenn Christ is a good sketch.
be a
Where it's
good
that the
sketch.
apostles are all like the characters from Glengarry Glen
I think
Ross.
that now's the time for Mr. Show to come back, right? Bob Odenkirk's not busy. He can do another season of Mr. Show.
It's like, wow, Odenkirk keeps pitching these sketches where he's like super ripped and beating dudes up, beating up Eastern European stuntmen. Weird.
Makes
but
me
all-
laugh.
Salazar sets up a conundrum for Travolta. He's like, you can take.
I want to do one more extra from
Okay,
Glengarry
yeah,
Glen
sure.
Christ.
Sure.
Jesus is giving his talk to the apostles, and he goes, consider the lilies. Do they weave or spin? No. That's why I fired their asses.
Yeah.
Get to work, everybody.
Worth it. Okay. So
You're all fisher of men, so hook me some big fucking fish. Get me a whale out there.
Salazar's like, you can take Gina Gershon. I mean, the character's name, whatever. Or you can take.
You could take Gina Gershon out of the
Decker?
movie, but you can't take
But
the
if you
movie out of
do,
Gina
I'm
Gershon.
going to shoot Lucas Haas. So who do you pick? Your wife or your brother? Instead,
Lucas Haas has a look on his face where he's like, no, I can go.
it's like, what did I do?
I'm not super integral to this. I guess you don't have to unlock both safes at once.
I never really redeemed myself after that Seattle thing.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
boy. Well, we all know what happened in Seattle. Oh boy, that whole
Instead-
adventure that we all remember.
Talk about sleepless.
Yeah.
Of course, Travolta cuts through this Gordian knot by offering himself up instead, but the non-killer drug lord hesitates just long
This
enough.
is so funny. This goes on for way longer than it needs to. Where he's going, kill me, man. Fucking do it. Fucking kill me. And Salazar's like, hey, I will. I
Time
will.
to kill you.
It's
I'm
up
going to do
I'm
that.
gonna kill-
That thing
Yeah.
you said, I'm going to do it. Oh,
I'm
in a
edging
second
myself.
now.
I'm waiting
called
till just the
gooning,
right
yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
It's
Gooning.
gooning, yeah.
but he delays
I'm live streaming to my gooner killer friends that I'm going to kill you, but I haven't
wow.
done it yet. Yeah.
He delays just long enough for Gershon to kick the gun out of his hand, and then the feds run in. I don't know what they're fucking waiting for, if they were close enough to do this, but turns out
Even
that
Travolta says, took you
They're all
long
getting
enough.
hot and heavy watching
Yeah.
a guy almost get blasted.
turns out the big non-twist is that in a scene that we didn't see, a flashback, Travolta had tipped off the feds earlier in exchange for a deal which gets everyone immunity, even though they apparently were all on the FBI's most wanted lists, in return for Salazar.
And-
taking
They
him
must have
down.
been
And
whatever.
a private jet anywhere they want to go.
Yeah.
It's also like what happened in Seattle that they are on the FBI's most wanted list. Like that's
Got that dirt box, man.
Osama bin Laden was on the FBI's most wanted list at one point.
It's got
at
dirt
this
on
point,
everyone.
if they're on the FBI's most
Right.
wanted list, it's because they're probably from Somalia or from
Yeah.
or another country. But still, that's political commentary right there. The FBI's taking its eye off the ball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Elliot got him finally.
Yeah, finally.
true, if not particularly amusing.
It's not funny at all. Not funny. We don't.
also-
Dan, we don't. And this. I feel like the Flophouse isn't really about jokes. It's about illuminating and enlightening
Right.
people.
Yes.
Moving
It's
Thank
about
you.
activating
Speaking
people.
truth to power.
Yeah,
Yes.
in
Yeah.
between all the stinkers,
Brave.
sometimes we give you some thinkers.
Yeah.
I would say that
It would
no
be very
one-
funny if it turned out that Kash Patel listens to this and is like, "Hey, I liked your podcast, so you're talking about me."
No, I mean, Stuart, isn't that where you guys did get your slogan, 2 in the think, 1 in the stink?
That was going to be on our T-shirt, and then all those T-shirts got burned.
I
Yeah,
was
the
gonna
T-shirt
say-
company said they refused. Yeah.
I was going to say that no one goes to podcasts for that, but unfortunately, people went to the wrong podcast for this sort of thing, and that
Yeah.
was part of the problem. So,
Yeah, part of the
you're right.
problem.
Kind
guess,
of ruined
I
that.
guess-
Imagine
All these
how-
podcasts complaining about ladies in Star Wars makes me want to overthrow the government.
I mean, imagine this reminds me of something that friend of the podcast, Jubin Parang, once said to me, where he goes, "Imagine how much money I could make if I just sold out and became the right-wing Persian guy who wants to bomb Iran. Imagine how much money I could be making right now if I had no principles and I could be that guy." And just think about it, guys, we could be making so much money now if we
Jubin
just
would be
became
really
evil.
good at that.
I mean,
He would be great
yeah,
at it,
guys.
yeah.
I mean, I think we should probably all just start complaining about the MCU.
Yeah.
Is that,
I mean-
wait, is that what they call
It
it?
is, yeah. The like right-wing YouTube guys who are
Because
mad
there's, like,
about
3
Captain
female
Marvel.
characters.
Yeah, because of
18,
their
18 years ago, if we had started a YouTube channel being shitheads, we'd have like vacation homes now.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd be so rich.
Would be miserable.
so
Yeah.
wealthy.
And what
Oh,
I'm
well, and we'd go to hell.
Everyone would
We'd go
be
to
Yeah,
hell.
it would fear our fans.
and certainly
Yeah.
what I'm good at is like saying things I don't believe, going against my principles. Like I'm really comfortable with that. Like
Yeah, Dan. I think Dan would you would have a hard time keeping that kayfabe for so many
Listen,
years. Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy intentionally made bad
No,
Star Wars movies
no.
so little boys would feel bad.
not even
Just like
as a joke.
every
joke,
comic
yes.
book person is intentionally making bad issues of the comics they make because they hate the characters and want to destroy them.
I've
Yeah,
heard that
exactly.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that one. I've been called that.
And guys, we're all parodying bad takes from internet people, just
Yes.
so you don't think
Right now,
we're
we don't really
we don't
yes.
actually. We're being
Yes, if
we're
the
doing-
FBI is listening.
We're
guys,
being
Yeah, I
just
love the
facetious.
MCU.
I have literally one more bullet point in
Oh,
my
yeah, sure.
notes.
Oh, so we got more time to goof.
Also,
Yeah,
it turns out that the first
You guys
thumb
want to be like
drive.
fake conservatives for a little bit more?
I got to tell you, even pretending to be a fake, it used to
It
be. I used to
sucks.
find it very funny to be a fake conservative, but now it's like it's fun to be a fake Nazi until the Nazis are in charge, and then it's like, this is gross now. You know. That being said, the accent still hilarious. Oh,
Yeah.
find the film. Oh, still hilarious.
A lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Also,
Grabbing me sign of that thing. You know, it's still
Okay.
funny. Yeah.
What's this bullet
it
point we've
turns-
been hearing so much about, Dan?
it turns out that the first thumb drive that they found, the one
Was
that
an
they're like, this
actual
is-
thumb.
we
Ah.
don't, the one that are like, fuck this thumb drive. Sean has it. It's the one with the 600 million in crypto in it.
Whoa.
Oh, Crime Squad
From
wins again.
from
Everything turns out for crime guys.
The crime, the
Crime,
and they
crime,
walk away and they're
crime,
like,
crime.
"We did it now," and it's like, "Wait, so I mean, yeah, that was a crime. You stole that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand."
So there's 600 million and there's like 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
If there were only like 5 of them, they'd each get more money.
So that's going to be the third movie, which
Oh.
is that they're hunting each other down. Yeah,
Mhm, like a tontine thing.
yeah,
Let
exactly.
us.
Tauntaun thing?
A tauntaun thing. They're cutting open each other and
taunting
stuffing themselves in to stay warm. Yeah.
Tauntaun thing, a little French guy who goes on adventures. I guess he's Belgian, right?
Yeah, he's Belgian. He's
Yeah.
not French. Yeah.
A boring comic book that smart parents get for their kids.
Well, I mean, to be
Whoa.
honest, when I was a kid, I was always like, "This is not exciting to me," but it's probably the kind of thing that Dan would like.
Tintin? Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy that sort of light adventure and the clean line style.
Clean line style.
That's
Hergé,
true. That's
yeah.
true.
The clean line sign. Yeah. When I was a kid, I would read it and I'm like, when's Tintin going to lose a hand?
I mean, it was
Eventually,
also,
the sea captain's going to get killed, right? And then Tintin's going to get revenge. When is that going to happen?
I actually didn't read them as a kid, though. As a kid, I was reading Tales from the Crypt comics.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
At some
A
point,
lot of hands got
gonna
lost.
Snowy's gonna snap and just start ripping out throats, right?
Gotta be
At what
Sure.
point do they find Tintin dead and Snowy has eaten half of the corpse? Yeah.
Maybe the answer
When
will be
Tintin
found
goes
in,
into the public domain, all this stuff will happen. They'll make a horror Tintin
Eli
movie,
Roth's Tintin.
in our final judgments. Final judgments. This is a good, bad movie, a bad movie, or a movie you kind of like. I'm going to say watching it alone, we've run into this problem before. We've talked about it. Maybe not the most delightful way that one could watch this movie.
No.
It's still a bit of a slog watching it, during the day as a man alone in a house.
Why are my grandkids calling me?
But I do
I
think
mean, the
that
problem is also, Dan, you live in such a silly house that you're distracted
Yeah,
by all
I know.
the talking
right,
objects.
right.
but I do think
Can
that
you imagine Pee Wee Herman must have had so much trouble just watching regular TV because his furniture is constantly talking to him. There must have been times when he'd be like, "Just shut up! I just want to watch
Guys,
the
I'm
show."
trying to finish the wire.
I do think that
Secret word.
Pee Wee, what are you watching, guys? Terry,
that was a good Terry.
thank you.
No, I think if you got a group of friends
Oh, but I was
together,
doing Terry Gard. Did it sound like her?
yeah, I think if you got a group of friends together, this would actually be a pretty fun bad movie to watch. Because there's some bad movies where it's bad because everything is wrong, and there are other ones where the fun of it is okay, I can see the big blockbuster movie
Yeah.
you're trying to be, but the broken Xerox machine you made it on makes it funny.
It's like the Uncanny Valley
Yeah.
movies where you're like, it's close enough that you're like, this is kind of a movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go good bad. A little marginal, but good bad.
I'm going to agree with you. I think this is I enjoyed watching it alone in my apartment where I put the motion smoothing on my TV.
This movie was meant to be seen.
Yeah, smoother.
Yeah. While there was like a thumbnail of Landman in the corner, and yeah, I think it's a fun good bad movie, and it would be fun. It would be a fun bad movie night movie to watch as well.
I agree. I think it is not the most fun by yourself, but it would be a fun movie to watch. It somehow manages to combine the fun of watching famous people in something that they should be above being in, and the fun of watching a movie that feels like it was made by random people in the middle of nowhere who don't fully know what they're doing. So yeah, I would call it a good bad movie as well. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah,
you ready to buck the trend?
I think no, not at all. I'm going to go with the flow and say yes. I agree with all these points. Yeah, a little bit of a weird one to just turn on by yourself, but I think for bad movie night purposes, this is a fun choice, and it did get me curious about like the Travolta slop. Like, I am very familiar with the Cage slop, and I like it a lot, and I love just booting up a random Nicolas Cage movie and seeing if it's one of the good ones. And I did get curious, like, are there, does Travolta have a pig out there, or a Color Out of Space, where it's like, oh, he was in this kind of weird cheap movie, but he's great in it anyway. So it has gotten me thinking about the world of Travolta slop, and I'm curious.
And sign me up for the third part in this series, right? There's going to be more, right?
There's got to be the trilogy.
I mean, I do,
we meet the third brother of the Salazar Zayd Black.
We got to meet the third brother.
I mean, wait. It says right here, I'm looking at John Travolta's filmography on Wikipedia. It says, to be announced, Cash Out 3. So
no way.
I think they're planning to do the third.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just waiting for Comic-Con to make the announcement.
I do think it's funny
when they have all the titles for Phase 3 of the Cash Out-averse, on the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
that Travolta and Cage are of course linked because of Face Off, and it does seem like Travolta is like picking up the slack now that Cage has sort of like clawed his way into mostly better material. Travolta is doing the sort of thing that Cage was doing for a while.
I think we may need to look at more Travolta movies because is this the first one we've seen since The Fanatic years back?
The Fanatic was
because I think there and Gotti was before that. I think we gotta. This is an untapped vein.
Gotti's rough.
This is an untapped vein that we should be looking into more. Yeah.
Hey, Alexis.
Hey, Ella.
What animal has the most teeth?
I would guess a shark.
A snail.
No, snails don't have teeth.
They have thousands, and they are freaky looking.
No, I don't want that to be true. Okay. Did you know that the hippocampus in your brain is named after the half-horse, half-fish sea creature found in Greek mythology?
I didn't know that, but we're meant to be doing animal trivia, and hippocampus isn't a real animal.
Well, that doesn't matter on Comfort Creatures.
You're right, it doesn't matter at all.
Comfort Creatures is a cozy show for lovers of animals of all shapes and sizes, real and unreal.
If that sounds like your cup of tea, then join us every Thursday for new episodes on MaximumFun.org.
Are you a celebrity? Are you searching for meaning, connection, and a little levity these days? Hi, I'm Kumail Nanjiani, actor, writer, and yes, a celebrity too. And I've got 4 words for you. Bullseye with Jesse Thorne. Are you tired of junkets, red carpets, sick of the endless spicy snacks you have to eat? Do you want to connect with someone who gets your work and laugh with you a little? Join me, Andre 3000, Tom Hanks, Tina Fey, and many more and become a guest on Bullseye with Jesse Thorne from NPR and Maximum Fun.
The Flophouse is sponsored in part by Factor. When it gets cold, maybe you don't want to worry about cooking, on top of everything else. We're in a bomb vortex right now, guys. A bomb vortex. Well,
wow. Can't get to the store when that's going on.
Yeah, Factor makes it easy to eat healthy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So eat well without all that planning and cooking. And Factor meals feature quality, functional ingredients. You don't want unfunctional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients and healthy fats. What you
some
won't
places,
find. What?
Some places send you unfunctional ingredients, and it'll be like an old pacifier, like
Yeah.
a scrap of cloth,
You don't wanna
hair,
put that
just
in something.
a bag of hair. You don't want to eat that. Factor will never send you that kind of stuff. They send you good food ingredients.
It's true. And you won't find refined sugars, artificial sweeteners, refined seed oils, and with 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious through winter, you're going to find something you like. They're ready to eat in about 2 minutes. I have enjoyed Factor meals in the past. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I'm a man, unlike Elliot, who likes to cook. And yet,
Kitchen
You're a
strays.
man, comma, unlike, wait, I don't like to cook. Let's just,
Yeah.
you said it a little confusingly. I don't like to cook.
unlike Elliot, I like to cook, I said.
You said, I'm a man unlike Elliot who likes to cook.
Yeah,
I just
well.
don't want people to think that Elliot likes to cook.
Okay. I don't think that would have been a problem, but in case there was any
It's the way I
issue-
heard it, and I was like, "Do I like to cook?" Well, when I'm playing with a jazz band, I'd love to get cooking, but
Let
still,
them cook, we say.
yeah.
Point is, everyone needs a break. Even people like Dan's, who enjoy doing chores around the house, who would be perfectly happy doing chores around the house all the time. But that doesn't mean I don't get tired. I like these Factor meals. They're tasty and they're healthy and they get done quickly. So head to factormeals.com/flop50off. That's the numeral 50. And use code flop50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan. One free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active.
Now, the movie we just watched, High Rollers, features a high-tech hacker by the name of Link. And maybe you yourself are somebody who wants to get into cyberspace, but you do not have the special set of skills possessed by Link from the movie High Rollers. Well, have no fear. You can set up your own website using Squarespace. Squarespace gives you all the tools you need to run a small business using a web page, and Squarespace helps you do that. You can get paid, you can send invoices, you can do scheduling, very professional stuff, and you do not need to be a tech whiz to do it. It also has cutting-edge design. Maybe in addition to not being able to be a tech whiz, you're also not a design whiz. Well, luckily, Squarespace employs tons of them and has tons
Wizards?
of beautiful templates. Yes, tech wizards, not normal wizards. This isn't.
Oh,
it
never
it
mind.
is so fancy that it does seem like magical arts, but in fact, it's just regular arts. They provide, you can get templates so you can design a very professional looking website without having to do all the design yourself. It's all built in the platform. It's great. So make sure that you head to squarespace.com/flop for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, use offer code FLOP to save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or domain.
I have one Flophouse thing to mention and a couple of personal things to mention in this advertising promotional segment. First of all, Flop TV, it's completed in terms of the actual episodes. By the time this episode comes out, we will have finished with Flop TV, correct, Dan? Because we're recording it a little ahead of schedule.
I believe that's
That
true.
being
I mean, we'll
said-
have the last episode, but you can still watch. Yeah.
But that being said, that's where I'm going to. Thank you. That being said, the episodes are still available at theflophouse.simpletix.com through the end of February. We had a great time this season. It was Flopster Piece Theater. So we started with the 2000s and went back in time to look at movies from all different decades. And we talked about some flops that are legendary that we never talked about. A couple of the movies we kind of liked. One of them I love. It turned out I was watching it. And we ended with, of course, Plan 9 from Outer Space, perhaps the most famous of all bad movies, the granddaddy of the idea of watching bad movies for fun. All those episodes where we had such a good time together and it was so enjoyed by the audience. We really loved it, and they loved it too. You can still watch them. If you didn't get a chance to catch them, you can still go to theflophouse.simpletix.com and watch the recordings. Buy yourself a season pass. You can watch all 6 episodes for the cost of 5, and you can see them at your leisure through the end of February. That's Flop TV Season 3. It's no longer live, but it's still living in our hearts and on the website until the end of February. I also had a couple of personal things just to mention. I wanted to remind people that I have a new comic series. The first issue comes out February 11th, and that is, if maybe that was before now. I don't remember when this episode's coming out, but that's my new series, Barbarian Behind Bars, from Mad Cave Studios. I am reunited with my Maniac of New York co-creator, Andrea Muti, and this is a new story about a Conan, He-Man type barbarian who ends up in our world, chops a mad wizard's head off, gets thrown in jail, and has to figure out how to get out. It is about taking a high fantasy character and throwing him into a kind of pulp jail setting. And I really had fun writing it, and I hope you will have fun reading it. That's Barbarian Behind Bars, issue 1, coming out this February. My joke book, or rather joke writing book, Joke Farming, How to Write Comedy, Other Nonsense, still available
It's
on
not a
store
joke.
shelves.
It's deadly serious, Elliot.
It's incredibly deadly. Yeah, it's deadly serious. It's a deadly serious game of cat and mouse and jokes. This is something that really synthesized all my thinking about comedy and how jokes work, and now it's just available for you in one book, and it's fun to read. I think you'll like it. And I wanted to remind you that I'm still writing the Harley Quinn comic monthly at DC Comics, and I'm still doing a podcast for Smartlist, the podcast Clueless. Check it out. That's a lot of stuff coming from me. Hope you enjoy at least some of it, and I hope you buy all of it. Thank you.
Let's move on to letters from listeners. This one's from Luke, last name withheld. Who writes?
Lucas Haas.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed my movie, High Rollers.
I had a lot of fun making it.
Hey, Flo.
John's great and a wonderful scene partner.
I didn't look in his eyes, but that's only because it was in both of our contracts that I wouldn't. I recently watched Unfaithfully Yours, Preston Sturges' screwball comedy, where Rex Harrison has fantasies about dealing with his possibly cheating wife.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. I went into the movie unaware of that, and I completely missed the obvious signal that the movie had moved from its reality into fantasy, even though it is indicated by literally zooming into Rex Harrison's eye to show we're going into his mind.
Yeah, and he replays it a couple different times in different ways. Yeah,
I thought the movie suddenly shifted from wacky jokes to full film noir, and was genuinely surprised when someone was murdered. I didn't understand why everyone was suddenly acting so differently until the fantasy ended. This is clearly not what Sturges intended, but I somehow missed all the clues, Mr. Policeman. Has this happened to you? Have you ever completely missed an obvious story device and completely misunderstood something that was never meant to be misunderstood? Best, Luke, last name withheld. I mean, the classic Flophouse example is In Time.
Yeah.
Didn't
We
realize.
misunderstood that Olivia Wilde was supposed to be Justin Timberlake's mom, right?
Yeah.
And not his
Well, because of their
girlfriend.
crackling sexual chemistry.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Guys, before we answer this question, this is my final thing about John Travolta. Apparently, he is in an upcoming movie directed by Rennie Harlan about 3 generations of a family on a sailing holiday face an orca attack on their boat.
Okay,
So I think we're
well,
going to
my
have to do
interest
that one.
Christ.
I think we
Many
got to do
things
it.
I like in that.
One ticket, please, for this movie that probably will not be in a place where I would have to buy a ticket.
One ticket for Black
Sir,
Tides, please.
one-
That's not a movie that's playing here.
One Tubi unit, please.
Sir, we show actual movies here. I believe you can just go home and dial that one up.
So I can't. I was trying to think of a. Dan tipped us off about this question ahead of time, and I was trying to think of an example. I know there have been ones where I miss a piece of information that has been stated, and then later on I'm like, oh, I guess I was supposed to know that, and like my wife will be like, yeah, well they said it earlier. And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm having trouble thinking of a specific one. But I know it's happened. I am not always watching movies with the keen eye that I am known for.
Yeah, you got to make sure you get all the schmutz off the plates while you're washing them.
Well, even when I'm not watching
So
a
much-
movie, I mean, there's the added obstacle of sometimes I am looking at the dish that I'm cleaning while I'm watching a movie. Yeah,
This is a really tough one. I mean, I'm sure I have, but I just hate admitting that I make mistakes on the podcast.
On the podcast. Okay.
In life I admit it all the time, but on air I don't want our listeners to think that a god like me can bleed,
yeah, of course.
I played through a couple of those Gears of War games without knowing that you could quick reload your gun.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever played those. There's a quick reload mechanic that makes the fighting a lot quicker. But I beat a couple of those, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can quick reload your gun. Anyway,
I mean,
I'm sure
I played
this
through the
is
entirety
fascinating,
of-
and I'm glad
It's
I
like
said
that
it.
Kurt Vonnegut story about having like like boots, weighted boots. What's that one?
Yeah, Harrison Bergeron.
Yeah. You're like
Yeah.
Harrison Bergeron. Now you're like, you can jump so high in those games because you.
I feel like I've told this story in the podcast before, but I'm going to tell it again. Jordan, when I was playing through Dark Souls Remastered on my Switch, I got to the it wasn't until I got to the final boss of the game that I realized you could parry, and then I beat him like super fast. I'm
Oh,
like, this
that's
dude
funny.
keeps killing me. That was also the fight where, because it was on the Switch, I was playing it, on the go, and I just boarded a plane, and Shar and I had sat down, and I'm like, oh, let me just push through this fog wall here, huh? Up, boss music, up there's the boss. And then Charlene slaps me on the arm, and I look up at her, I'm like, what? And she was just offering me a donut. And I look down, I'm already dead. And I'm like, I put the game down, I'm like, Charlene, I'm sorry that I freaked out. That was all on me.
Right.
I just
These games are
passed
very
the fog
stressful.
wall.
A 10,000 person chorus just started screaming at me.
Yeah.
You know, when
I
I'm in
was
game
trying-
mode, I cannot be interrupted, or else I'm not I'm liable to do anything.
Game mode's when I put on those wraparound shades and I
Hell
sit
yeah.
in the cab of my truck to
yeah.
play a game.
This next letter is one that you guys, Elliot and Stuart, have already seen. Normally, I get these through the Flophouse mailbox, and I'm the one who like vets them and puts them together. And the rest of the gang hasn't seen the full letter, although they get the questions. But this case, you've seen it, but it's so good. Got to put it out there in the world for our listeners and for Jordan.
Thank you.
This is from our pal Parker Bennett, who was a writer on the Super Mario Brothers movie. And what was the other one that he
Mystery
also
Date.
Mystery Date. So he says,
But when you say Super Mario Brothers movie, the 90s?
original.
The original, okay.
he says, impossible as it may seem, I've yet another Zelig-like intersection with a bad movie featured on the Flophouse. Fortunately, I had nothing to do with writing The Master of Disguise, but in 2000 or so, I had pivoted from writing bad movies like Super Mario Brothers to creating websites for them. My partner and I called our company Mogulsoft, and I was a creative head designing interactive Flash extravaganzas, fashionable in the day. It even got a B- from Entertainment Weekly. Yes, they once reviewed websites. The Master of Disguise was the last movie website I did. Others included But I'm a Cheerleader, Shadow of the Vampire, and K-Pax.
Was there like a little flash game for Shadow of the Vampire where you're like running from the vampire?
I'll ask the email. Answer is inconclusive. Around this time, studios wised up that people just wanted to watch the trailer and buy tickets, not solve puzzles and play Flash games. I moved on, doing my part for the post-9/11 baby boom. Acts of creation adjacent to disaster seemed to be my thing. You're a friend of the pod, Parker. And if you're being like, Master of Disguise, I don't remember that episode. We just got back from San Francisco Sketchfest where we did a live show on Master of Disguise.
Dan left his heart there. He's been making left heart in San Francisco jokes nonstop.
That'll be... Yeah, nonstop. That'll be in the feed at some point, probably when we have scheduling difficulties and need something to save us. But look forward to that. It was a fun show.
Yeah, it was. And a great movie. 2 thumbs up.
No, I don't think that was our conclusion. If
I don't
recall.
believe so. You'll have to listen to
I
find
said that
out.
wrong. It was a short movie. 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Fair enough. Anything else to be said about Master of Disguise or
Jordan, do you have a connection to
websites?
Master?
you ever?
Boy, not a one.
Okay.
I know. I'm as surprised as you are.
Well, in that case, let's move on to recommendations of films that might be a better way to spend your time than watching direct to streaming Travolta action movies. And I'm going to recommend the return to gross horror movies of Sam Raimi.
Oh, you went so.
I saw Send Help.
Ooh, I'm going tonight.
seen
What'd
it
you
yet.
think?
It's a lot of fun. I mean,
Can't wait.
it's not like the absolute highest heights of Sam Raimi, but it is, him
Yeah,
back in his
Spider-Man was above
wheelhouse.
buildings. He was like flying through the tops of buildings. Yeah.
He's clearly having a blast, just like being gross again. There's
Cool.
like scenes where there's like a lot more blood and goo than you're gonna expect.
I've got tickets to see it in 4D, so I'm going to be shaking around.
Yeah,
They spray
Saturday.
actual
Right.
blood in your face. Yeah.
Whoa!
It's like a Guar show.
The audience was reacting just as you want them to, like with like noises, but laughing a lot.
Hell yeah.
I love Rachel McAdams basically in anything. The other guy who I don't know as well is also really good. The trailer makes it seem like a much more straightforward movie, I think, too, than it is. I think it's interesting, some of the character twists and turns that happen. Just a fun movie. If you like original movies, if you like Sam Raimi, like I would encourage people to like vote with their dollar and actually see it.
Yeah, I want to see it. I am going to recommend a movie I saw a little while ago, but I haven't had a chance to recommend here on the show. It is a movie called Reflection in a Dead Diamond. It is it's a like giallo-esque spy movie-esque movie that is like all style. It is so much style, and yet it at least somewhat holds together as a movie about an aging secret agent who is
He
retired.
really puts the age in agent.
Exactly. And he is kind of reflecting on his life, and he feels like kind of the sins of his past are coming back to haunt him, along with some of his former foes. And this is made by the filmmakers who made The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears and Let the Corpses Tan. So they know how to name a movie good.
Those are good
And
names.
I found it to be just, again, as I said, like it's a movie. I'm used to movies being like super stylish and kind of gross and weird, but not actually making much sense. But this one actually makes at least some sense, and I think it's really fun. I think.
I mean, I guess that's true. I guess I see what you're saying, but also like I'm listening to this thinking like Stewart's making this movie sound a lot more like straightforward and comprehensible than it is too. Because it is also sort of like, I don't know, like if you had a dream after watching Danger Diabolic or something.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like it's, and I feel like it's got like elements of like Venture Brothers and the things Venture Brothers was aping. Like I think it's great. It's weird and gross and awesome. Oh, and and in general, I won't name out a specific movie, but go watch Catherine O'Hara movies. R.I.P. to a legend.
Yeah, absolutely. No one's funnier.
Yeah. Yeah, we're recording this the day after the news broke that Catherine O'Hara died, and I'm sure it hit you guys very hard. It hit me very hard.
Yeah.
I was really hoping to meet or work with her someday. She's just amazing, and so I was very sad about that. That being said, I wasn't planning to recommend a Catherine O'Hara movie today. Maybe I should. Go see Waiting for Guffman. That I'll also recommend another movie. I recently finally got to watch a movie I've been wanting to see for years. It's a Polish movie from 1965. It's called The Saragossa Manuscript, and it is a movie about storytelling in a way, in that it is one of these movies where a character starts telling a story, and then in that story, another character starts telling a story, and we follow that story, and then in that story, another character starts telling a story, and it's this basically mainly about a soldier who is wandering through Spain in the I think 18th century, and has a series of, or might be earlier, and is having a series of strange encounters. Some of them are kind of surreal and supernatural. Some of them are just kind of like bawdy. But there's a lot of fun stuff in it. And for a movie that is 3 hours of characters interrupting plot lines to tell other stories and have other plots come in, it's when things start kind of like looping together in different ways, it's really fun and satisfying. So if you want to see a movie that is kind of like twisty storytelling, where it's less about where the story is going to than about what's the turn it's going to make next, and where there's funny stuff, there's spooky stuff, and there's a lot of women in low-cut dresses, many more than I expected to see in the movie when I first started watching it, then I would recommend The Saragossa Manuscript. Jordan, have you seen anything that you would recommend?
Yes, I will admit I am a few episodes behind on the Flophouse. I'm usually all caught up. I can't imagine y'all haven't talked about the old Bone Temple, but
You got to go down to the old Bone Temple. I think you
Yeah.
recommended it, didn't you, sir?
I don't think I had a chance.
Or maybe I did. I don't know.
I don't think we've recorded an episode.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
that'd be
recommend
Well,
it.
then
Yeah.
please recommend it on behalf
Yeah,
of all
please
of us.
recommend
recommend the greatest movie.
28
Go on down to the
years
old Bone Temple,
later,
yeah.
Bone Temple. It fucking rules. It's
Yeah.
so it's not only great. It's like, I don't know. I think it's weirdly an all-timer for me. I
Yeah.
loved it. It
Yeah.
is it's like, I could see seeing it out there and going like, oh, they kind of cranked out a 28 sequel, kind of close to the other one. It's its own thing, and it just rips. It's so surprising. It's so weird and funny. The acting is wonderful. It includes a dance scene that is maybe one of the greatest things ever to appear on film. And it's a great theater movie. I feel like it is one that, maybe people kind of slept on a little bit. It was maybe a little bit of an underperformer. And I look at the area of film, to online film people who, gush about Your Weaponses and Your Sinners, which are two great movies.
Mhm.
Where are you guys on Bone Temple? It's so good. I really, really loved it. I think if definitely the flop freaks will love this movie. And if you still have a chance to see it in a theater, do it. It is.
I saw it sitting next to Stuart.
Yeah.
And there's a scene that
What a
you
coincidence.
you
I was
talk about.
vibrating.
Yeah. You talk about the dance scene. I don't want to spoil it too much for anyone who hasn't seen
Yeah.
it, but being
I have
next
not
to
gotten to see
Stuart,
it yet, so don't
my
spoil it.
horror metal tracksuit wearing friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, Stuart, this scene, this is like your heart made a wish that you didn't even know existed,
Yeah.
and it was granted.
There's so many things about that movie that feel like it's speaking directly to me, and I feel like, at least from what I've heard, this is the case with a number of people out there, that this is a movie that manages to balance two wildly differing tones of
Totally.
very brutal, very cruel,
Yeah.
but at the same time, there's a tenderness and a compassion that you don't see in movies that often, let alone a fucking post-apocalyptic horror movie. Ralph Fiennes is delivering some of the best material in an already incredible career.
Yeah. Ray Fiennes, give that guy an Oscar for this, but also give the giant zombie an Oscar for this. That guy's great. There's a guy who we see a little bit in the first 28 years later. Samson, yes. He's great. Huge dick.
Is Jack O'Connell the name of the actor he's so good in it too.
Great.
And there's a scene between him and Ray Fiennes that is so funny and tense and tender in its weird way. It's just an amazing scene.
And the social media push of the movie, a lot of the, there's been some Jack O'Connell because he was great in Sinners as well as a similarly charming villain. But there's been a lot of the relationship between Ralph Fiennes and the actor who plays Samson, and there's a lot of them talking about the prosthetics and things like that. But it is their equivalent of every other fucking movie trying to make me believe that the two leads of the movie are in love with each other. I don't know if you guys are tired of this, every fucking Wuthering Heights ad is you know what? They actually might be in love. I'm I don't think so. She's got a kid and
the housemaid. You get a
married.
lot of Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried blinking longly at each other.
Yeah. I mean, but that's I feel like that's the modern element of movie promotion is how can we make people think that the actual, we love celebrity culture so much.
Right.
Let's get the real people involved. And you already burned me with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. Internet lied to me.
We're not that far away from when the ad campaign for a movie will be did Tom Cruise really die making this stunt?
We haven't seen him in a long
We
time.
haven't seen him since the movie came out. Come see
I
the
already
movie,
see
see if
the
he really
YouTube
died.
thumbnail of that clip.
I was writing a script that actually I abandoned in favor of I think a better idea. Thank you, Elliot, for weighing in. But
no problem.
One of the
Behind
things
the
I had
scenes.
in there was that I did as an idea was two celebrities who were mad at each other, having to deal with each other in close proximity. But they're mad at each other not because of a breakup, but because one of them handled their fake relationship in a way they didn't like. Like the studio encouraged fake relationships, so they had like a fake breakup that was causing them like strife.
That's a solid rom-com premise.
I
dude.
might reuse that somewhere. Don't take
Yeah.
it. Dan McCoy.
TM. That's like
This is like
Yeah, that means the McCoy.
Yeah, Dan's mailing it to himself right now.
yeah.
Oh
Oh man, that was a treat. Thank you for giving me a space to talk about 28
good.
years
Yeah,
later.
I only assumed you guys a bit. It's been nonstop Bone Temple talk for the past couple episodes. But yeah, I'm glad I could recommend it.
I mean, I
I
like
haven't
the
actually yet.
It's a very Flophouse movie.
I think they made the mistake of taking that movie out too soon after the last 28 Years Later movie. Like they should have waited another year. I think.
Yeah,
They
maybe.
might have
Yeah, I
done
mean,
better.
you're right. Maybe people just thought it was a.
And I mean,
weird
I feel like
cash in or something.
as much as I like Danny Boyle, I feel like I connect more with the Nia DaCosta's directorial style. Like,
Man,
I think it's a little.
so good. It's
great.
such a good movie. Anyway,
I gotta see it.
Bone Temple.
Well, this has been a delight, as evidenced by how little we were able to stay on topic for time.
All right, that's
Jordan.
a backhanded compliment if ever there was
No,
one.
no. I think that's a good sign of having fun. But Jordan, why don't you take a moment to what are you grinning about?
That's going to be our next fucking T-shirt slogan.
A good sign of having fun.
And it's just like a picture of our runtime or something.
Yeah.
Jordan, please promote your stuff.
Oh, sure. I would love to. Hey, I know that this is a podcast listenership that's got a pull list. So if you're one of those folks, consider adding the upcoming Marvel Comics release, Predator Bloodshed. It is a Predator miniseries written by me, art by Roland Boshi and Rory Coleman, the Predator. You know this guy, everybody's favorite alien. Hear me out.
He's got braids. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's got a crab
Jordan.
face.
Jordan, I want to support your project. I cannot stand by and say that the Predator is my favorite alien.
Who would it be? E.T.?
Yeah, it would be like better than the Predator
Nuki.
alien.
The
I don't know
Xenomorph?
who better than the Predator. How about the alien? How about the alien, Jordan?
I
Like
say
you
we-
like the Xenomorph. Like
Yeah,
you want to
love
hang out with the Xenomorph.
Yeah, I
We've
do wanna
covered
hang out
this
with
on
him.
a past mini, by the way.
We've talked about it. We talked
Can you
about
get a
it.
beer with the Xenomorph?
Well, most people,
We wrote a sex song about the Xenomorph. So I
True,
think
we did.
Yeah.
most right-thinking people's favorite alien, the Predator.
Okay.
In this in-continuity miniseries, the Predator gets loose at an underground fighting tournament, much like the kind you would see in Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, but it's a group of martial artists versus the Predator. Yes, when I'm pitching things, I just think to myself, what would Stuart think is awesome? And then I pitch that.
I'm holding my Mortal Kombat Annihilation DVD and my Predator DVD, and I just kind of mush them together.
That's this basically. Yes, it starts on February 25th. The first issue comes out. It's looking really gorgeous. Both Roland and Rory do awesome art. The Predator looks cool. It's gory. It's fun. Maybe you got a little dark comedy in there. I think folks are really going to dig it. So yeah, February 25th, wherever you get your comics, or if you want signed by me copies, you go to bit.ly/coolfight, bit.ly/coolfight, and you can get them from a local comic book store here in LA called Collector's Paradise. They ship anywhere. So if you're not sure if you can get it in your zone, bit.ly/coolfight, you get them in the mail anywhere you are. And hey, I also do some podcasts on the Maximum Fun Network. Jordan Jesse Go, the comedy chat show, Free with Ads, the movie chat show. The Floppers have been on both of these shows. Dan and Stu were on Free with Ads not too long ago, and we talked about The Apartment. So if you want to hear Flophouse hosts talk about a good movie,
A really good movie, yeah.
a really good movie. And it's been on Jordan Jesse Go a bunch of times, so check it out. I don't want to overplug, but I think this is special for the Flophouse audience. If there's any Southern California floppers out there, I am hosting a Predator double feature at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana. That is February 26th at 7 p.m. We're showing the original Predator and Predator Badlands, and I'll be there hosting and giving out comics and signing
My two
comics.
favorites.
So please come out to that if you're in the Southern California area. You get those tickets at thefridacinema.org. Okay, done plugging.
Great
Done
plugs.
plugging.
A lot of
Thank
exciting
you.
stuff for Jordan
that's
Morris
awesome.
fans and Predator fans.
Yes.
The Venn
Pred
diagram
heads.
overlaps quite a bit.
yeah, I
Pred
think
heads.
so. People like me and jacked aliens.
Well, now it's time for us to plug up our mouths for this episode. But before
Dan, you don't use that plug to plug your mouth. You don't know where it's been.
before that happens, a quick exhortation to go over to MaximumFun.org. Listen to some of the other great podcasts on the network, including those starring our guest host, Jordan. Thank you to Alex Smith, our producer. He goes by the name Howell Doughty. You can listen to his music. You can see his Twitch streams. He's got a podcast. It's very funny. Check his work out. For the Flophouse, I've been Dan McCoy.
I've been Stuart Wellington.
I've been Elliot Kalin.
Hey, I'm Jordan Morris, and I was also on the show.
His old catchphrase.
That's me, the guy who was on the show.
See you.
Yeet me in St. Louis? Did you do that for kids?
See,
Somebody throws somebody out the
Jordan's
window?
That's
Yeah,
why we
love
have
it.
children's entertainer Jack Black here to help
Yeah.
us connect with the kids.
The new movie, Meet Me in 6'7".
Yeah.
Eat me in
God.
6'7". Hell yeah.
Fam.
It's worse than this.
Oh man, that's gonna be bussin' for real, no cap.
Maximum Fun,
A worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
directly
by you.